to those they've preyed on all these years with their cowardly actions. It's the same category as any other piece of human dirt who uses their position in life to prey on those who are weaker than them. But please, Merrill and others, don't try to convince me you didn't know, and don't try to act like you aren't a huge part of the problem. No one knew Matt Lauer had a door lock button on his desk. No one knew that almost every young female star in Hollywood was being sexually bullied. Now, all of a sudden, when a few truly brave young ladies step forward, now you want to wear black and speak out? Well, old ladies and old gentlemen of the entertainment industry, I don't believe you. I think you are just as much a problem as the pigs you protected all those years. That's what I think. Shame on you. From the Zumwalt zone.
We'll see an increase in cloud cover across the region as we head through the day and may see a couple of patchy sprinkles or light showers here and there late in the day, mainly over the Piedmont counties. Highs will reach about 40 to 48. Tonight, some patches of light rain possible for about the northern half of the state. Can't rule out a pocket or two of sleet or light freezing rain, all that ending after midnight with lows in the low to mid-30s. Then we'll see clouds mixed with increasing sun on Tuesday and should warm more with highs about 50 to 56. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' number one morning show. Mornings with the LeaderMan. Here on Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
You've hosted the Emmys.
I have.
You've hosted the ESPYs.
I have, yeah.
Where does the Golden Globes fall on the list of cool things?
It's the most fun I've had in an award show.
An award so prestigious that it recently won the Award of the Year award at the 2007 Awardie Awards.
With penalties, interest, and the celebrity resentment tax.
Monday is the kind of day where you want to listen to the radio.
Your alarm clock isn't going to turn itself off.
What a panicky nation this is.
You've got every excuse to freak out.
This place is starting to freak me out.
Showtime.
Inside my bones, it goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. Ooh, it's something magical. It's in the air, it's in my blood, it's rushing on. I don't need no reason, don't need control. I fly so high, no ceiling when I'm in my zone. Cause I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop. Under the lights.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It is time once again for Mornings with the LeaderMan. I am Steve Leader Adams.
And I'm Matt Horsey, the LeaderMan's electrified sidekick. Steve, did you watch the Golden Globes last night?
About as much as you did.
Not a damn bit. Thank you very much. If you want to text me, you can text your tips or road conditions or whatever to 690-0116. 690-0116.
Don't forget, of course, we're being seen around the world on the live video stream. The link is at the top middle of the page at our website at talk973.com. Or you can get it with your YouTube app on your mobile device. Put Mornings with the LeaderMan in there, and we'll pop up at the top. If you're just looking audio, Use the TuneIn app. That's free and available at your app store. Put WEEB into those search parameters. Or you can get our audio off of our website in the upper right-hand corner of any of our web pages where it says Listen Live. Just tap that. One tap, you're listening. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area. Well, things will be improving as we move through the day.
Cloud cover across the region as we head through the day, and they see a couple of patchy sprinkles or light showers here and there.
It must be, what is going on? Must be still set from that last Monday.
I think his clock is off. I'll go talk to him later.
Let's see. Yeah, it's set for Clark Howard. Could be a long morning. Let me just stop all this. Man, the things I have to do. All right. Partly cloudy. I didn't tell you to start again, fool.
You know why that happened, Steve?
Because you came in the door.
No, because you can't stop the feeling.
I can. It's called a stop button.
Everybody dance.
No. Stop. You just determined to put me in a bad mood. All right, today, partly cloudy, high of 40. Then tonight, mostly cloudy, an isolated shower possible. Just a 20% chance. A low of 35. That means we'll get a deluge here. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, 54. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, 33. So we're out of the freezing temperatures for a while. Wait till we get to Thursday, my friends, and Friday. Wednesday, high of 46. Thursday, cloudy, scattered showers, high of 66. Friday, mostly cloudy, scattered showers, high of 67. Saturday, back to still a good chance of showers, high of 57. And Sunday, 44 for a high.
We'll finally be rid of this damn ice. We do not live in Minnesota after all, do we, Steve? No, we don't. I'm feeling sorry for you because your whole driveway is covered with ice there. So I've arranged to pump up the temperature a little bit. And that's going to be good for a while. The downside is that this evening it'll be one sheet of solid ice.
No, it won't because it's going to be below freezing. I mean, above freezing.
We'll see.
There you go. All right, right now around the Sand Hills, winds are northwest at west-northwest at 3. Visibility 10 statute miles, pressure 30-39, dew point 7, humidity 73. It's mostly cloudy, 14 right now here at Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB.
Did you do anything fun over the weekend?
Worked.
Woohoo!
You know how it is in radio. It's 24/7. Had to deal with the Duke game Saturday night. All right, let's see what we got here in our little bag of stuff. First of all, remember when the Golden Globes were funny, drunk and reckless? Women ruled the Golden Globes late last night, and that's all we have to say because everything was serious, and it's serious now, and nothing is funny anymore. Here's our recap of last night.
And now a summation of last night's 75th Annual Golden Globe Awards. 25 total awards were handed out last night, 14 for film, 11 for television. There was hardly any comedy because everything is serious now. No one tripped or fell down on the way to the podium. No wardrobe malfunctions, no one forgot their glasses, no one appeared drunk and rambling or messed up their speech. It's all serious and now nothing is funny. Oh, and Oprah for president. That was a summation of last night's 75th Annual Golden Globe Awards.
All righty. And let's see what else we got. A new book came out on Friday. Well, we're going to skip that one. All right. Forget that one, too. All right. Let's move on.
Hey, by the way, we may get lucky, and de Blasio may include Moore County in his round to extol the virtues of progressivism.
Speaking of the Golden Globes, Seth Meyers hosted the Globe last night and didn't waste any time before ripping into Hollywood.
Good evening, ladies and remaining gentlemen. It's 2018, marijuana is finally allowed, and sexual harassment finally isn't. It's going to be a good year. There's a new era underway, and I can tell because it's been years since a white man was this nervous in Hollywood. For the male nominees in the room tonight, this is the first time in 3 months it won't be terrifying to hear your name read out loud. They tried to get a woman to host this show, they really did. They said, hey, how would you like to come and be judged by some of the most powerful people in Hollywood? And women were like, well, where is it? And they said, it's at a hotel, and long story short, I'm your host tonight.
All right, Seth Meyers. Seth went after Harvey Weinstein and Kevin Spacey, too, last night.
Well, I think it's time to address the elephant not in the room. Harvey Weinstein isn't here tonight because, well, I've heard rumors that he's crazy and difficult to work with. But don't worry, he'll be back in 20 years when he becomes the first person ever booed during the In Memoriam. It'll sound like that. Well, despite everything that happened this year, the show goes on. For example, I was happy to hear they're going to do another season of House of Cards. Is Christopher Plummer available for that, too? I hope he can do a southern accent, because Kevin Spacey sure couldn't. Oh, is that too mean? To Kevin Spacey?
And
that was actually a good shot there, that last one.
Seth on Oprah's awesomeness last night.
Oprah Winfrey is receiving the Cecil B. DeMille Award tonight. What a tremendous honor for Cecil B. DeMille.
And finally, I'm not going to go there on that one.
That was some big butt kissing right there.
Oprah gave her inspirational message. It was 9 minutes long. This is just a sliver of that.
For too long, women have not been heard or believed if they dared to speak their truth to the power of those men. But their time is up. Their time is up. So I want all the girls watching here and now to know that a new day is on the horizon. And when that new day finally dawns, it will be because of a lot of magnificent women, many of whom are right here in this room tonight, and some pretty phenomenal men fighting hard to make sure that they become the leaders who take us to the time when nobody ever has to say, me too, again. Thank you.
All right, Oprah. Let's see what else we got. A montage of the big winners last night.
Best Actress in a Limited Series or TV Movie. And the Golden Globe goes to
Nicole Kidman!
Big
Little Lies! For Best Supporting Actor, Motion Picture, Sam Rockwell. Billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri.
For Best Supporting Actor in a Series, Limited Series, or Motion Picture made for television.
Alexander Skarsgård, Big Little Lies.
For Best Supporting Actress in a Motion Picture, Allison Janney.
Hi, Tanya.
For Best Actor in a Limited Series or TV Movie.
Ewan McGregor, Fargo.
For Best Actress in a Motion Picture Drama, Frances McDormand.
For Best Actor in a Motion Picture Drama, Gary Oldman.
For Best Actor in a Motion Picture Musical or Comedy,
James Franco.
For Best Actor in a TV Series Drama,
Sterling K. Brown.
For Best Actress in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy, Saoirse Ronan, Lady Bird.
For Best TV Series, Musical, or Comedy, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Best TV Series Drama,
The Handmaid's Tale.
For the Best Limited Series or Motion Picture made for television,
Big Little Lies.
For Best Director,
Guillermo del Toro. The Shape of Water.
For Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy,
Lady Bird.
For Best Motion Picture Drama, 3 Billboards.
outside Ebbing, Missouri.
You know that 3 billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri won a bunch of awards last night. Best Supporting Actor, as well as the Best Drama and Best Actress. And it's just not that good a movie. Hollywood produced so much garbage last year that this is the best they got. I mean, it's an okay movie. You'll watch it and you'll go through it, and it's a little bit stupid in places, and it's about a little backwards redneck type of community where everybody covers each other's butt, and you know, I mean, it has some redeeming qualities in it. I'm not going to say it's a lousy movie, but it's one of those ones you say, okay, it was okay for a couple hours, but you don't want to watch it again.
So was that the point? It mocked.
It's not like The Godfather.
Rednecks.
It's not like The Godfather where you watch it again and you get more out of it.
Yeah.
It's just do what now?
Was the point of the movie to mock rednecks primarily?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I'll give you the gist of it without giving it away. I mean, there's a lady, the one that won Best Actress. She bought 3 billboards and put up a sign that said she called out the sheriff, you know, on the first billboard. You know, how can you sleep at night, sheriff, when my daughter was killed and raped, and you haven't found the killer yet? It's time you find the killer. Something of that effect. Is
this based on a true story?
I have no idea. And that's what the whole movie is, and everybody's wanting her to take the billboards down, and she won't do it. And that's about as far into it I can get without giving it away. But it's all about the stupid billboards. And they got a deputy that's just really stupid. I mean, the guy that plays him, I forget his name. He's a good actor. But it's just, he's a country mama's boy that doesn't get the world yet, and obviously didn't have the opportunities to get it during his upbringing. But regardless, like I said, if that's the best Hollywood has, they got a long ways to go. All the crap, you know, you folks that have Hulu and Amazon and Netflix, you know what I'm talking about when there's so many crappy movies. Really are. And the ones coming up are just don't have it.
Yeah, Netflix is, and I'm not exaggerating, you know I'm not, 95% or more just crap.
Well, they've had some good series on there, like The Ranch I like. A friend of mine hates it because of the laugh track. But anyway, be as it may, let's move on.
I asked all my friends what they thought of that, and both of them didn't like it.
Kelly Clarkson, this is kind of cute here. You know, big-time singer, won the first American Idol, was being interviewed at the Golden Globes red carpet last night when she caught a glimpse of Meryl Streep and completely lost it. She was like a, what's the word I'm looking for? Just a fan that just was going crazy when she saw Meryl. And here's how it sounded.
Let me help you down, Kelly, and then we'll sing. What happened?
That's Meryl.
What happened?
That's Meryl.
I thought you tripped.
It's Meryl Streep.
Oh, you saw Meryl Streep. My heart just dropped. I thought you tripped down the stair.
Oh my God, can I meet
There
you?
she is. I thought.
Can I meet you?
This is Kelly Clarkson.
Such a fan. Oh my! I love everyone. I've
Here.
just adored you since I was like 8.
I thought when she screamed for a moment, she was tripping down the staircase because it's steep.
And last night on the carpet, Deborah Messing did an interview with the Golden Globes on the red carpet for the E! Network and called out E! for paying its female host less than their male counterparts. In fact, Kat Sadler famously left E! last month after she found out that her co-host was making almost twice as much as she was. This from live from the red carpet last night on E!
We want diversity. We want intersectional gender parity. We want equal pay. And I mean, you know, I was so shocked to hear that E! doesn't believe in paying their female co-hosts the same as their male co-hosts. I mean, I miss Kat Sadler, and so we stand with her. And that's something that can change tomorrow. You know, we want people to start having this conversation that women are just as valuable as men.
I agree with her. We want what'd she say? Intersectional genders, whatever. What an idiot. By the way, maybe Kat was getting paid less because she wasn't negotiating as well.
I don't know the situation, but you know, she wants to lead the job. It's her right to do so.
I know at WEEB I get paid less than Dorothy does, so there you go. Because we have intersectional gender something or other here.
It's called being worth less than her. That's what it's called.
Oh.
All right. Someone
that would be being worth less than she.
Don't make me get up and start wailing on an army guy. Someone with a doorbell camera caught Jimmy John's delivery guy peeing right outside the front door. They asked him about it, and he admitted it and then handed the food over like it was nothing.
Hello, man. Sir. You got me? Yeah, I peed on myself. Huh? Yeah, I peed on myself.
I peed on myself. And a guy tried to rob a cell phone store in Houston, and the owner ran outside and locked him in. When he couldn't get out, he actually knelt down and begged them to let him out. It was the second time he had robbed the place in 2 weeks. You can hear him shooting at the door with a handgun in this clip, but the door still didn't open. The sound quality isn't the best, but here's what we have.
Hey! Open this. Open it. Open it. Open it now.
No, don't open.
Open it.
No. Let me.
Open it. Please, I have nothing, please. I have nothing. I'm sorry, please. Help, please. Get your hands up! On the ground! On the ground! On the ground! On the ground! All the way down!
Maybe he was using birdshot, or that was some really good bulletproof glass.
He is going to have a lot of trouble getting doors open for quite a while.
Here's an idea. Some animal control officers in Michigan are getting ready to spend the night outside in doghouses to raise awareness about pets who are left outside in the cold. This is Officer Joaquin Guerrero from Saginaw County Animal Control Center.
My personal goal is to make it through the night. They'll fit to our body size so we're able to crawl in and sit down in them. A lot of times when people become dog owners, they think, oh, their dog, they can sustain, do whatever, but they're not educated for the summer weather, the fall, the spring, the winter, and we run into these problems. They're stuck there. They can't move. They can't let their natural instincts kick in for them. We got to be that voice for them. We got to help them so that it doesn't happen, so we don't find these animals frozen, and that we can't save them all, but the ones that we can save, or the awareness that we can bring, that just keeps educating more people and more people.
I think they ought to make the owners sit outside in the doghouse. Not that we can make them, but sure bring some awareness, wouldn't it? I really have a problem with people who leave their dogs on the end of a cord all their life. Just chain them up, and that's their life.
Yeah, I don't. If you're going to why get a dog if that's what you're going to do?
Yeah, really.
Frankly, why have children if you're going to work all the time and let somebody else raise them?
Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said for that, but then you got to put a roof over their head. Sometimes circumstances change, and all of a sudden you're a single-parent household. All right, moving on.
Oh, that's a little different, obviously.
Well, yeah, I mean, just saying it happens a lot today. U.S. figure skater named Jimmy Ma went viral over the weekend for skating to turn down for what at the U.S. Figure Skating Championship. Unfortunately, he finished 11th and did not make the Olympic team. But he's more famous now than the guy who did.
Okay, I like it. Turn down for what?
Was he talking about shots at the end of that song?
Friday night.
Wow, it's just real aggressive. You know, welcome to figure skating and, you know, the mid, what is it, 2010s?
Yeah, I'm so smart. 2010? Please. You don't know what year it is? But anyway, skating such a subjective sport in that the judges determine your score, and you got to be associated with the right coach and have paid your dues before you get a rating high enough to get anywhere. Over the weekend, Jerry Van Dyke died. He died on Friday at the age of 86. He was Dick Van Dyke's younger brother, but most people know him as Luther from the show Coach. Back in the 90s, here's a few of his collected bloopers from the show.
I got to put it in the ski rack.
Why would I put 3 skis in the ski rack and leave the 3rd one laying there on the ground?
I'm sorry, what?
Get the line again, Joe. Why would I put 3 skis in the ski rack and leave the 3rd one laying there on the ground? Settle. Settle. Why would I put 3 skis in the ski rack? Action. Why would I put 3 skis in the ski rack and leave the 3rd one laying there on the ground? Sure, I believe all that bunk about male menopause. I mean, I'm not even sure whether it exists. Yeah, I'm not sure I believe all that bunk about male menopause.
I don't get it. He makes a obviously bad mistake with his lines, and everybody finds it hilarious. Yeah. I make one, everybody goes, "Oh, you made a mistake." It's rare, but once in a while it happens.
Well, you're not a Dyke. I mean, a Van Dyke.
Anything else we got? Oh, Kansas City Chiefs gave up a 21-3 lead and lost to the Titans on Saturday in the AFC wildcard game. And it started with Marcus Mariota when he threw a touchdown pass to himself. That's right. It's only the second time it's ever happened in the history of the league. Brad Johnson did it for the Vikings back in 1997. Anyway, the ball he threw the pass. It was they were trying to score, and he threw the pass to the end zone, but it got blocked. And the guy who blocked it jumped up and batted it back, or batted it away, and the quarterback just caught it himself and ran into the end zone for a touchdown. Kind of like bouncing the football off the wall and then catching it and running. That's pretty much what happened. Here's the call.
Tennessee in dire need of 6 and not 3. Mariota to the line of scrimmage, maybe across the line. It deflects back to him for a touchdown for the moment. But was he across the line of scrimmage? Revis bats the ball right back to Mariota. It's a live ball.
Quarterback
Touchdown.
is behind the line, and he was in shotgun, so therefore he is an eligible receiver. It is a touchdown.
Mariota to Mariota for a touchdown pass. And he's had a hard time throwing touchdown passes this year. He'll take it any way he can get.
And here's a show that Matt is just drilling on, waiting for the show to start on January 12th on Netflix. David Letterman is coming back. I wonder if he'll shave off his Santa Claus beard.
Doesn't look like it from the picture I saw.
Anyway, he's coming back with a new show. It's called My Next Guest Needs No Introduction. It premieres on Netflix on January 12th. And his first guest is Matt's idol of all time,
Barack Obama.
Barack Obama, the guy who gave us a failed economy that never went over 1.5%. The new norm became a stagnated economy.
Now, look, you can criticize him all you want, but you can't deny that he really decreased the United States stature around the world.
Yeah, he did that. And we gave him $1 trillion to spend to stimulate the economy. And he spent it on windmills and solar panels and how that worked for stimulation. Oh, it didn't work. Gee, my bad. Yeah, he was such an economic genius, wasn't he? Anyway, here's the trailer.
I had a show for a long time, and then I didn't have a show for a long time, and I can't tell you how great it is to be out of the damn house. Wow. You never know when you might learn something, and that's what this is about for me. These are people that I admire. Please welcome my next guest. On that note, hang on.
Okay. Yeah, I can remember. I've listened to a lot of women when the husband retires. They like the fact that they go play golf. They say they can't stand them under their feet all day long. You know, they love them and all that, but there can be a line of too much.
I know when I retired, my wife wanted me out of the house.
Yeah, I'd want you out of here too. Stuff enough to take 2 hours of you. All right, 7:57. Let's see here. Let's do this. Some things you need to know so you don't sound stupid today. Philip Morris has a New Year's resolution. They're going to give up cigarettes. They took out an ad last week saying that their plans include getting completely out of the tobacco business. President Obama, we already did that. Jeopardy's host Alex Trebek announced on YouTube that he is going to take a leave of absence from the show after undergoing brain surgery for blood clots that were caused by a fall he endured 2 months ago.
Yikes.
John Young, who was one of NASA's most experienced astronauts and the first to fly in space 6 times, including a moon landing, died Friday after complications from pneumonia. He was 87. And Macy's has closed 7 more stores and cut 5,000 jobs. And Sears is going to close 64 stores and 39 Kmarts. Sears is now the third of the size it was in 2006. Oh, thanks, Obama. What a great economy. And both Hyundai and Volkswagen say they will have self-driving taxis on the road by 2021. And venture capitalist Peter Thiel is reportedly looking into starting a competitor to Fox News. Well, good luck.
Well, and if Disney buys Fox and gets control of Fox News, it's going to be necessary.
I might watch him just to not have to watch that My Pillow commercial and Nutrisystem commercial twice every hour. Here's your weather and news.
Across the area, then turn partly to mostly cloudy through the afternoon. A small chance of a sprinkle or light shower late in the day, mainly from around the Triangle area north and west. Highs will reach about 40 to 48. Tonight, some patchy light rain possible, mostly for the northern half of the state. A slight chance of some sleet or light freezing rain there. All that ending after midnight with lows in the low to mid-30s. Then we'll see a mix of clouds and increasing sun Tuesday with highs up to 50 to 56. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Val Dior. Kentucky Republican Senator Rand Paul says the Trump administration should be applauded for expanding health care by approving association health plans.
He looked at the original law. He told his lawyers, look at the original law and see if the interpretation of these previous government attorneys have been correct. And he had the wherewithal just to say, no, we're going to let individuals join these groups so they can get cheaper insurance and perhaps better insurance.
Rand Paul, a guest on CBS's Face the Nation on Sunday. President Trump is on the road today, headed to Nashville this afternoon to speak at the American Farm Bureau Federation's 99th annual convention. Then he'll head to Atlanta to attend the college football championship game between Alabama and Georgia tonight. Kickoff for the game, 8 o'clock tonight Eastern. A Florida man called 911 to report himself drunk driving.
Florida authorities are sharing the details of an unusual 911 call on New Year's Eve from a man who said he wanted to report himself drunk driving. Polk County Sheriff's officials say the dispatcher kept him talking while directing officers to the scene. When the dispatcher asked Michael Lester where he was, he said, "I'm too drunk. I don't know where I'm at." And when she asked what he'd been doing all night, he said, "I don't know, driving around trying to get pulled over, actually." The operator urged him to park his truck and wait for officers to find him, which they did, and arrested him. Patrick Foss reporting.
Two major Apple investors urging the iPhone maker to take action to curb growing smartphone addiction among children. Jana Partners LLC and the California State Teachers Retirement System say in an open letter to Apple that the company must offer more choices and tools to help youngsters fight addiction to its gadgets. Gas up 3 cents in the last 2 weeks. That's 16 cents more than a year ago, according to industry analyst Trilby Lundberg. She said Sunday that the increase is due to higher crude oil costs, the highest price in San Francisco at $3.22. This is Town Hall News.
Dennis Prager here, and for 2 years now I've been telling you about my wife Sue, who tried Relief Factor because of her knee pain, and it worked. And if you're struggling with ongoing back or neck pain, shoulder, hip, or knee pain, or general muscle aches and pain, do what my wife Sue did. Try Relief Factor. Go to relieffactor.com or call them toll-free 800-500-8384, 800-500-8384.
19 men attacked our country. You'd be the first to fight back.
On January 19th comes the declassified true story.
We're on our own, fighting 50,000 Al-Qaeda fighters.
Of 12 fathers, brothers, soldiers.
If we fail, what happened back home is going to happen again.
Who volunteered to fight.
How do you love your family and leave them to go to war?
And gave us a reason to hope. From the producer of Black Hawk Down.
I ain't losing one, man.
12 Strong, the declassified true story of the horse soldiers. January 19th. Rated R. Under 17, not admitted without parent.
British Prime Minister Theresa May is going to shuffle her top team to bolster her authority ahead of a crucial New Year phase in Brexit negotiations.
The Prime Minister says she'll rejig government ranks soon, with changes expected maybe as soon as Monday. Theresa May's grip on power, weakened by her Conservative Party's poor showing in a June election, got a boost last month when the European Union agreed to start discussing future trade relations with Britain. Now May says she hopes to secure agreement with the EU on a post-Brexit transition period by March 31 and to draft a withdrawal agreement by year's end. Britain is due to leave the EU on March 29, 2019. Charles de Ledesma, London.
Personnel from 3 countries working to find a tanker's 32 missing crew members and contain oil spewing from the wreck after the Iranian tanker and a freighter collided in the East China Sea. Bad weather is also worsening visibility. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. New York's Kennedy Airport is just now beginning to recover from major delays that stranded thousands of passengers after Thursday's storm. Julie Walker reports.
The Port Authority, which runs Kennedy, says Saturday saw 94 flight cancellations on top of Friday's cancellations and Thursday's closure. Pictures on social media showed some terminal floors covered with travelers camped out, waiting for flights or luggage. Others posted about sitting on the tarmac for hours waiting to deplane. Senator Charles Schumer says JFK needs to be better prepared for the weather.
What happened at JFK was way beyond cutting a little slack. It seemed almost everything broke down. It seemed like a disaster.
The Port Authority says frigid temperatures continue to cause equipment failures and slower than normal operations. Julie Walker, New York.
The airport in Charleston, South Carolina is finally reopened. That happened on Saturday after snow and ice finally melted off of its runways. All airlines asking you to call ahead if you're flying as they continue to catch up. This is Town Hall News.
Metaphorically speaking, who is driving your car? You or the daily stress that comes from living in this modern world? Meditation has been scientifically proven to be beneficial in treating stress and stress-related illnesses. Neurofeedback is a way to measure that process and improve your response to stress. Neurofeedback addresses a host of issues like ADD, anxiety, ADHD, chronic pain, depression, migraines, sleep disorders, and more. Wright Chiropractic offers neurofeedback as another tool in a host of powerful healing technologies. Take back the wheel and get on the straight road with neurofeedback. Call Wright Chiropractic for a discussion on how the neurofeedback method can benefit you. Call 673-2225.
Poor vision robs you of your independence and quality of life. But Dr. Barry Cavanaugh at Seven Lakes Eye Care can help you. He provides full-spectrum optometric care that includes diagnosis and treatment of a wide array of eye diseases and conditions such as injuries, cataracts, glaucoma, macular degeneration, and dry eyes. Dr. Cavanaugh will take the time to actually learn about you and conduct a thorough examination using state-of-the-art equipment not available in chain stores. The optical dispensary has quality, guaranteed glasses, and Seven Lakes Eye Care accepts major medical plans, including Medicare, Medicare Advantage, TRICARE, and Blue Cross. From parking near the door to the caring and attentive staff, your visits will be comfortable, personal, and ensure maximum eye health. They're located on Seven Lakes Drive near Highway 211 across from the Food Lion. Call 673-3937 or Google Seven Lakes Eye Care.
I've got my eyes on you.
You already know about the great steaks and appetizers at Outback Steakhouse, but let me tell you about one of my favorites that you likely won't find anywhere else in town. It's the Outback Pork Porterhouse, a bone-in pork T-bone, and the bone is what gives extra flavor to the meat. This cut blows away chops, loins, or even tenderloin. I get mine with a side of marmalade. It's a nice switch from their great steaks, and it's easy on the wallet too. Give it a try. Outback Steakhouse, great steaks and more, 15501 in Southern Pines.
NCN News. I'm Mike Riley. As temperatures continue to stay below freezing in North Carolina, there's a chance for frozen precipitation today, especially in the mountains and northern part of the state. Several school systems are also closed. For the first time in 2018, temperatures at the Raleigh-Durham International Airport are expected to go above freezing today. It comes after another weekend of single-digit temperatures were reported in Raleigh and across central North Carolina. Meteorologist James Morrow is at the National Weather Service and says Raleigh broke a record for most consecutive hours below freezing on Saturday afternoon, a mark that extended into Sunday afternoon.
So we have been below freezing at RDU since 1:35 a.m. on December 31st. So each hour as we go actually sets the record a little bit further.
The Trump administration and its allies are rallying to the president's defense to try and contain the fallout from a book that questions the president's fitness for office. Fire and Fury inside the Trump White House paints the president as a man who doesn't understand the weight of his office and says his aides question his competence. Political analyst Greg Valere says the White House reaction to the book has been inexplicable.
There's raging controversy over the book, which the White House seemingly wants to keep going, obscures a lot of big issues, the budget, infrastructure. There are a lot of things that have to be addressed, but the book is hogging all of the attention.
A single lottery ticket purchased in Port Richey, Florida, won the $450 million jackpot in Friday night's drawing. Ron Pryor is buying a lottery ticket at the same 7-Eleven. He's hoping he will have the same luck.
Lightning only strikes, once, they say, but we're in the lightning capital of the world, so try it.
An employee of North Carolina State Treasurer's Office is accused of stealing files containing information about financial transactions. You're listening to NCN News.
Packers.
Vikings.
Red State.
Blue State.
We come from different places. Uptown.
Downtown.
We come to different conclusions. Half empty.
Half full.
But no matter how different we are, we're all connected, and we can all make a difference. That's why United Way brings people, expertise, and resources together to improve the education, income, and health of our communities, the building blocks for a better life. When we live united, our efforts, magnified by others, add up to real change. Children succeed in school, families gain financial stability, the health of our neighbors improves, and suddenly, so do our communities. But real change won't happen without you.
Live united.
So let's look beyond our differences.
Live united.
One by one, let's make a difference. Let's reach out a hand to one and influence the condition of all.
Live united.
Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United. Sign up today at liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Police are investigating a fatal accident this morning at a coffee manufacturing plant in Concord. EMS officials say the accident scene has been turned over to the Concord police for further investigation. In a wide-ranging speech to ambassadors from some 185 nations, Pope Francis urges efforts to rebuild trust in North Korea and Syria. Sabina Castelfranco was listening in Rome.
In his annual foreign policy speech to diplomats accredited to the Vatican, Pope Francis called on all nations to support dialogue to ease tension on the Korean peninsula. He urged political leaders to put the dignity of their people before war, profits, and power, and called on them to work on a legally binding ban on nuclear weapons. The Pope also reaffirmed the need to respect the status quo of Jerusalem.
The announcement of a plan to allow offshore drilling off the coast of North Carolina and other parts of the Atlantic, Pacific, and Arctic Oceans is leading to concern among environmental advocates. Steve Masciuto is with Earth Justice.
We not only don't need this now, we're not going to need it later. In a world where we need to address the threats from climate change, we're going to be burning less oil 20, 30 years from now than we are today. And this oil is not needed now, and it's not going to be needed down the road.
Some Apple stockholders are wondering if the company's iPhones are hurting children's mental health. Over to CBS's Vicki Barker.
New York-based JANA partners at the California State Teachers Retirement System together control about $2 billion worth of Apple stock. Now they're calling on the iPhone maker to take action to curb smartphone addiction in children. More and more studies are documenting the damage done to young minds and psyches. At the same time, some Silicon Valley insiders have begun to acknowledge how many gadgets, apps, and social media sites are actually designed to be addictive.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
We'll start the day mostly sunny to partly cloudy across the area, then turn partly to mostly cloudy through the afternoon. A small chance of a sprinkler light shower late in the day, mainly from around the Triangle area north and west. Highs will reach about 40 to 48. Tonight, some patchy light rain possible, mostly for the northern half of the state. A slight chance of some sleet or light freezing rain there. All that ending after midnight with lows in the low to mid-30s. Then we'll see a mix of clouds and increasing sun Tuesday with highs up to 50 to 56. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
Right now, here in the Sand Hills area, we got partly cloudy skies, 14 degrees, humidity 77%, dew point 8, pressure 30-39, winds calm, visibility at 10 statute miles. It's 8:12. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news for this Monday morning. The plaintiffs in a class action lawsuit against the owners of the troubled Wood Lake Resort and Country Club have filed a motion requesting a default judgment against the company. The motion comes after Wood Lake Corporation, the company that owns Wood Lake Subdivision, failed to respond to the allegations listed in the class action complaint before the December 28 deadline. The deadline was originally set for November, but was automatically extended to December after Norman Post, an attorney, notified the court of his intentions to represent Wood Lake in the class action litigation. The plaintiff in the lawsuit are Wood Lake Homeowners Association, who blame the company for causing property values to plummet in the subdivision, which is located off of NC 690 east of Bass. They also claim the company's continued collection of membership dues as part of the scheme to coerce members to continue paying fees, even though Woodlake was not providing the promised amenities. Property values in Woodlake have sharply declined after the state ordered the controlled drainage of Lake Surf, the subdivision's 1,200-acre centerpiece. And 2 horses were rescued from an icy pond near Robbins on Saturday afternoon. Authorities from multiple agencies responded to the scene on Pine Grove Church Road. A passing motorist saw the horses stranded in the middle of an 80-foot by 100-foot pond. First responders described the horses as exhausted and about ready to give up when they arrived. The 4-wheel drive tractor was used to break the ice, and the horses were pulled to safety at approximately 2:50 p.m. Rescuers were advised to pat the horses dry and place them in a warm, dry environment while they waited for a veterinarian to arrive. That's your latest Sand Hills news this morning. But stand by, here comes your latest in sports right here on Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. It's 8:16.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. Drew Brees threw 2 touchdowns and amassed almost 400 yards as the Saints downed the Panthers 31-26 in yesterday's NFC wildcard playoff. The Panthers made a game of it late. Cam Newton throwing a pair of fourth-quarter touchdowns. Driving in the final seconds, down by 6. The offense stalled. Cam was sacked near midfield, and that was the end of the season. Tight end Greg Olson caught one of Cam's fourth-quarter scores. He was deflated in defeat.
Just didn't do a good job. We moved the ball pretty much at will the whole game. We struggled in the first half in the red zone, and that turned out to be the points that we kept chasing.
In the AFC wildcard game, Jacksonville beat Buffalo 10-3. Ohio State earned its first signature win under new coach Chris Holtmann by downing the nation's #1 team. Keita Bates-Diop scored a career-high 32, and the Buckeyes improved to 4-0 in the Big Ten by whipping Michigan State 80-64. In other top 25 finals, 4th-ranked Arizona State ended a 2-game skid, getting past Utah. Number 9 Wichita State blew out South Florida. 15th-ranked Miami held off number 24 Florida State, and 19th-ranked Cincinnati routed SMU. Georgia and Alabama preparing for tonight's college football playoff championship in Atlanta. Georgia running back Sonny Michel says both teams will have nothing left to leave on the table.
We expecting it to be a 4-quarter fast physical football game. Nothing less. I don't think nothing too special is going to be going on.
Alabama quarterback Jalen Hurts says Georgia can make it difficult for the Crimson Tide to sustain long drives.
I think they're a really good defense. They do all the right things, make a lot of plays defensively. They turn the ball over, and they play fast, and they're a very experienced unit. So for us, we have to be ready to play against them.
Number 4, Alabama, and number 3, Georgia go at it tonight in an all-SEC college football playoff national championship. This is NCN Sports.
Do you want the latest insider news and information for your favorite college sports team? Subscribe now to the ACC Sports Journal magazines. Our ACC Sports Journal magazines are filled with extensive detail on each team for football, basketball, and recruiting. It's a must-buy for every fan of the Tar Heels, Blue Devils, Wolfpack, Demon Deacons, and the rest of the ACC. Subscribe now and save 40% off the cover price. That's a full year's subscription for just $24. Be sure to subscribe now to receive our 2018 ACC Basketball Recruiting Guide. As a subscriber, you'll get your copy before it hits the newsstands. Ordering is fast and easy too. Just go to ACCSports.com right now and click on the big yellow Subscribe Now button. Don't miss out on this offer. Go to ACCSports.com now and click on the Subscribe Now button.
While the college football playoff championship game is tonight in Atlanta, a Florida team is acting like it already won it all.
When the University of Central Florida won the Peach Bowl on ESPN, one word summed up their season: perfection. That win gave UCF a 13-0 record, and it's opened up a debate on the inequity of how Division I football determines its national champion again. UCF's athletic director has declared the Knights as champions because of their undefeated record. He says the school will hang a national championship banner in their stadium, and they'll celebrate the season with a national championship rally downtown. Peter King, CBS News, Orlando.
And that parade was yesterday, that rally today. Dustin Johnson powered his way to an 8 under 65 and an 8-shot victory in the Century Tournament of Champions, the win over John Rahm. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
I'm an official sounding scientist, and I'm here for a comfort experiment. We're going to recreate the way your home heating system works in your car. Crank up your heat. Blast it at your face. Starting to break a sweat? This is central heating. A Mitsubishi Electric Zone comfort solution with hyperheating allows you to get just the right amount of heat exactly where you need it. Fast. No cold drafts. It's comfort made personal. This concludes our little comfort experiment.
Four Seasons Heating and Air, the company that wants you to get comfortable with them. 235-0606.
By using local businesses, you give back to your community, supporting your police, fire, and rescue departments, town maintenance, and schools. You create jobs and friendships. John Cole's Plumbing Professionals has been your plumbing contractor for many years and wants to continue serving this great community for many more to come. For outstanding service, call your local plumber, John Cole's Plumbing Professionals, 910-639-4933, 639-4933.
Has this ever happened to you? You get a computer virus, or your computer just isn't acting right, and you take it to the big box store to get it fixed, and you wait, and wait, and wait. And finally, after a week or more, they call and say your computer is ready. You go back to the store to pick up your computer, only to be handed an outrageous bill.
You want how much? Are you out of your mind? You've got to be kidding me.
And then when you get home, many of the problems that you took it in for still exist. That's the problem with the big box stores. They charge a lot, you don't know how qualified the person is that's working on your computer, and many times it never gets fixed properly. Listen, if you have a PC problem, just bring it in the WEEB Computer Repair, right here at our station on Midland Road. We are the home of the Super Geek. In most cases, you'll get your PC back within 24 hours, and it'll be fixed. And it usually costs less than half what the big box stores charge. Plus, we stand behind our work. Just bring your PC computer in anytime during regular business hours or call the Super Geek directly at 910-690-9723. And yes, the Geek makes house calls too and can get all your electronic components working with each other at your home or business. Again, that number, 910-690-9723.
For over 55 years, we know more. From 1960 to the present, Aberdeen Exterminating has been Moore County's local pest control professional of choice. Termite control, household pests, yard treatments, flea and tick control, routine and on-demand treatments, mosquito control, termite protection with available damage warranty, crawl space protection, new home pre-treats, foundation inspections, and moisture barriers. Aberdeen Exterminating does it all and does it well. Prompt, courteous, dependable service at a fair price. That's what you want, but don't take our word for it. Just ask around. Aberdeen Exterminating, locally owned, servicing Moore County since 1960. Call us today for a free inspection and free estimate. 944-2474. That's 944-2474.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. Well, it's Sunday night, and as I record this, the Golden Globes are about to start. I won't be watching. Many stars will stand up bravely and condemn the evil that somehow snuck into Hollywood while they weren't looking. Stars like Meryl Streep, that poor, brave lady who's been part of Hollywood for so many years and didn't realize sexual abuse was a problem. And lest you doubt they're really serious about this, they're wearing black to prove it. And although, to be honest with you, I think if they were really serious, they'd wear horizontal stripes. I hate what Harvey Weinstein and all the others have done to those they've preyed on all these years with their cowardly actions. It's the same category as any other piece of human dirt who uses their position in life to prey on those who are weaker than them. But please, Meryl and others, don't try to convince me you didn't know, and don't try to act like you aren't a huge part of the problem. No one knew Matt Lauer had a door lock button on his desk. No one knew that almost every young female star in Hollywood was being sexually bullied. Now, all of a sudden, when a few truly brave young ladies step forward, now you want to wear black and speak out? Well, old ladies and old gentlemen of the entertainment industry, I don't believe you. I think you are just as much a problem as the pigs you protected all those years. That's what I think. Shame on you. from the Zumwalt zone.
We'll see an increase in cloud cover across the region as we head through the day and may see a couple of patchy sprinkles or light showers here and there late in the day, mainly over the Piedmont counties. Highs will reach about 40 to 48. Tonight, some patches of light rain possible for about the northern half of the state. Can't rule out a pocket or two of sleet or light freezing rain, all that ending after midnight with lows in the low to mid-30s. Then we'll see clouds mixed with increasing sun on Tuesday and should warm more with highs about 50 to 56. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' number one morning show. Mornings with the LeaderMan. Here on Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
You've hosted the Emmys.
I have.
You've hosted the ESPYs.
I have, yeah.
Where does the Golden Globes fall on the list of cool things?
It's the most fun I've had in an award show.
An award so prestigious that it recently won the Award of the Year award at the 2007 Awardie Awards.
With penalties, interest, and the celebrity resentment tax.
Monday is the kind of day where you want to listen to the radio.
Your alarm clock isn't going to turn itself off.
What a panicky nation this is.
You've got every excuse to freak out.
This place is starting to freak me out.
Showtime.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It is Mornings with the LeaderMan. I am Steve Leader Adams.
And I'm the LeaderMan's subdued sidekick, Matt Horsley. Good morning. If you want to text me traffic conditions, thoughts, opinions, come right to me and I can put them on the air. The number is 690-0116. 690-0116.
Don't forget, of course, we're being heard and seen around the world on the live video stream. That's available to you at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is the link if you're looking for a video stream on the mobile device. Well, you need the TuneIn app. Put Mornings with the LeaderMan in that. And if you are on a mobile device, just want audio, we suggest the TuneIn app. Put WEEB into that search and we'll pop up there. So for the video on YouTube, it's Mornings with the LeaderMan. You put in the search for just audio on the TuneIn app. You put WEEB. Or you can get audio off of our website at talk973.com. Upper right-hand corner of any of our web pages, just tap the Listen Live icon. Weather for us today here in the Sandhills area. Look for things to improve greatly over what they have been for quite a while. It's going to be partly cloudy today with a high of 40. Then we'll get some melting, for serious melting today. Then tonight we'll stay above the freezing mark, so melting will continue. Look for mostly cloudy. An isolated shower can't be ruled out, a low of 35. Tomorrow, even more serious melting. Partly cloudy, high of 54. Then tomorrow night, cloudy, low of 33. Wednesday, mostly cloudy, 46. Thursday, mostly cloudy, 50-50 shot of showers, high of 61. Yeah, you need spring come back. Just wait till Friday. Oh, Friday's forecast. Mostly cloudy, scattered showers, high of 67.
Yes, baby.
The heat and humidity can't wait to come gushing back in here. Friday night, mostly cloudy, low of 47. Saturday, partly cloudy, scattered showers, 56. And to round out the weekend, sunny, high of 44 on Sunday. Monday, I don't have it. All right, right now around the Sand Hills, winds are calm, visibility 10 statute miles, pressure 3039, dew point 8. Let's bottle some of that and hold it over to August. Humidity 77% is, let me get a refresh on this temperature. Right now, it is partly cloudy. It says 14. I'm not sure I believe that. Right here at Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. All right, it is 8:29 past the hour.
My car said it was warmer. The Weather Channel app says it's 15. Anyway, it's damn cold. How's that?
Well, 1 degree I'm not going to worry about. All right, I know what let's do. Let's do a little bit of this before we get into our morning rim shots this morning.
And now it's time for Yes! Or BS.
Don't get me back to good bullshit.
All right, time for a little yes or BS, something, well, it's our way of buzzing Matt. What better way to do that than with yes or BS this morning? All right, all you got to do is say yes, it's true, or no, it's total BS. And there may be some subcategory answers he has to give, too, just so we can buzz him some more. Anyway, the topic is Elvis, who would have been 83 years old today.
Wow.
Had he not played in the drugs so hard. But let's see how we do. All right. Elvis did not have a middle name.
That's true.
No, it's total BS. His full name was Elvis Aaron Presley.
Oh, of course.
Remember, I think I heard it. People were saying, you know what, during the early days after his death, that people were saying he really wasn't dead.
Oh, that went on for years. There's still people
it's still going on,
yeah,
but they're saying even on his crypt, they misspelled Aaron with one A, or they spelled it with two, and it's only one. And it's the way he had it listed. Anyway,
where's your Twilight Zone music, Steve?
Number 2, he had a pet chimpanzee named Bubbles.
Oh, of course, BS.
That is BS. Michael Jackson had that chimp. Elvis' chimp was named what?
Elvis didn't have a chimp.
Yes, he did.
Not named Bubbles.
His chip was named Scatter.
Oh, isn't that a nice? I wonder how he got that name.
And Scatter had a bad habit of picking up women's skirts, and even got punched at one of Elvis's by one of Elvis's groupies for doing it.
Yeah, well, Elvis had a habit of peeking in on people, too. He had a secret room with a two-way mirror.
Elvis supposedly modeled his look after a superhero from Marvel Comics.
No, BS.
You just don't know your Elvis, do you?
I don't.
He was a huge fan of Captain, of the character Captain Marvel Jr.
Never even heard
when he
of
was
him.
a kid. And they did look similar. Even the capes Elvis wore in his later years looked like one of Captain Marvel Jr.'s capes. In 2009, a lock of Elvis's hair sold at auction for $1.2 million.
BS.
It is BS. What did it sell for?
$1.5 million.
$18,300.
That's what I thought.
And one of the things Elvis always wanted stocked at Graceland was laxative gum.
No, that's BS.
You just don't do well, will you? He made his staff keep a type of gum around called Phenament, which had a laxative in it. He also made them stock plenty of sauerkraut, biscuits, shredded coconut, banana pudding, and pickles.
I wonder if all the drugs were plugging him up.
Who knows? Who knows? All right, it is 8:33, 33 past the hour. Let's do some rim shots now and see how we do on that this morning. The 75th annual Golden Globes aired last night on NBC, the Nothing But Commercials channel. The Golden Globes, of course, are usually a good indicator of how bored you'll be during the Academy Awards. Hollywood's best and most talented actors were present, as well as Dwayne Johnson. Director Ridley Scott says he hasn't ruled out a Harvey Weinstein comeback. Well, I guess that makes one of you, replied everyone else in Hollywood. Playboy may cease publication. And that's today's installment of What You Should Have Done in 2006. Justin Timberlake's new album is called Man in the Woods, which sounds cool until you consider that also could have been the title of Deliverance. The Oakland Raiders officially named John Gruden as their new head coach. You know what they're paying this guy?
Is it Gruden or Gruden?
Gruden, whatever.
They're paying him millions.
You think? He's getting $100 million over the next 10 years. And they're moving the team to Las Vegas, where you have no personal income tax.
Wait a second. Over the next 10 years,
Yeah.
$10 million a year. That's even more than you pay me.
He's been the past 9 seasons in a broadcast booth, but now he's going to be head coach and get $100 million. I got to get these negotiators working for me. Raider fans,
no joke,
raise their glasses to cheer the news. Well, the ones not in handcuffs, that is. But anyway, O.J. Simpson is threatening to sue the Cosmopolitan in Vegas for $100 million because they permanently banned him from their casino. $100 million. That's O.J.'s way of trying to make a killing, I guess.
No, it's not.
He's
got his own way.
An Alabama newspaper executive admits he used to spank female employees. Unbelievable. Alabama has a newspaper. Who knew? Today is Kim Jong-un's birthday. Matt got an invitation. He's now 34 inches tall. And I heard his party will be a blast, by the way. Pope Francis has advised against making the pursuit of money, career, or success the basis of one's life. Done and done, said your 32-year-old son living in your basement.
He also opened the Vatican to breastfeeding, apparently.
And following a mistake by a gate agent, a woman had an entire plane to herself on a flight from Rochester, New York to Washington, D.C. And would you believe it? They still ran out of headsets. Those are your rim shots for today. Did you catch the Golden Globes last night on the Nothing But Commercial channel, NBC?
Why, no, I didn't, Steve.
Well, if not, your excuse might be on this list of the top reasons you didn't watch the Golden Globes. Top reasons you didn't watch the Golden Globes. You already ignored Seth Meyers 5 nights a week. Why add a 6th to it?
True.
Watching Hollywood, well, Seth Meyers the only, I put quotes, guy who sounds like a girl with his own show. Obviously, he has no gonads whatsoever. Hi, I'm Seth Meyers. Watching no testosterone, that makes you Man. Watching a Hollywood award show is just something a very simple genius would never do. Other top reasons you don't watch the Golden Globes, or you didn't watch it. You're Harvey Weinstein, and you had a gut feeling there'd be some kind of negative commentary. You always know what the shape of water is. Duh, whatever you pour it in. You're mad because Hollywood was really serious about ending sexual harassment. They would have changed the name to something other than, of course, Globes. You were initially excited to see Shirley MacLaine, Helen Mirren, and Sharon Stone present awards, but then you remembered you're under the age of 80. And a couple more reasons you didn't, or 3 more reasons you didn't watch the Golden Globes last night. You hate discovering that your favorite actor from a gritty Southern drama was actually British. You live in California and you're way too baked, man. And you'd rather watch an award show that matters, like,
yeah, you know, a lot of the names that they were listing off there earlier were British and probably doing stuff in American English.
Yeah, it always bothers me when I see a movie and it's got Southern characters in it, and they hire Yankee or even British to play it, because it's like fingernails on a chalkboard to a Southerner. It sticks out so bad. Now, a Yankee or a Northerner wouldn't notice it.
Unless they get it right.
They can't get it right. It's just something that you have to be born here, live here, in order to speak that way.
Have you never heard Hillary Clinton?
Well, she's from Arkansas.
She's not from Arkansas. She grew up in the Northeast.
Well, there you go.
See? The guy that
her
played,
husband's from Arkansas.
The guy that he is, thank you. The guy that played Lieutenant Winters on Band of Brothers is British.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Did you never see Band of Brothers?
Couple of things, but I don't remember the characters.
It was an excellent series. Well, he was one of the lead characters, the blonde. Don Cheadle does a terrible British accent.
Yeah,
they hate him over there in the UK every time. It's like you said, the fingernails on the chalkboard.
He does the ocean.
Yes.
British character.
Yes.
And he was
exactly
horrible.
The one.
He was horrible. And like I said, yeah, it's like getting him to do British makes as much sense as getting a Brit to do Southern. It just isn't going to flush. And I don't care how they say it, they can't say y'all right.
Although the British sound is closer to the Southern sound than it is to the Northern Western sound.
All right, 8:41 past the hour. Let's move on to our little lady this morning. Hear her out one more time.
You, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad traits.
All right, my friends, it's time once again. To draw in a big breath of air, stick our big hairy chest out. Now we're going to strut across the floor like we own it, like the Duke would do. Make him proud. Open up our closet doors, look at all 30 of our Liberty safes. And today we're going to pick out Liberty safe number 3. Haven't been here in a while. This one's got the old 40, not the old 45, the long barrel guns, all revolvers. And we'll let Matt pick one out.
You know what? Today we're going to go with the Beretta Stampede, chambered in .357. Steve, here's your leather pistol belt. And you notice I've got quite a few 357 cartridges there in those little loops.
All right, we'll strap it on, pin on our badge, grab 5 cans of whoop ass as we head out the door now in relentless pursuit of some stupid criminal news. You know, it's too cold right now to commit crimes, and here's the proof. 22-year-old shoplifter named Dustin Johnson, went to a Hobby Lobby in Minot, North Dakota. This happened on Wednesday, and he spent over 7 hours in the store filling up his cart with stuff. When it was finally full, he headed outside, tried to run away, but it was less than 10 degrees outside.
What the hell was he stealing in a Hobby Lobby?
I don't know. It was less than 10 degrees outside at the time, and the cart got stuck in the snow. So he wound up leaving it and trying to get away. But he slipped on the ice, and his wallet fell out of his pocket. The police found it and used it to track him down at his house and put the cuffs on. No need to work him over. We'll just throw him in the snow if he gives us any trouble.
When he came out of the Hobby Lobby and they arrested him, he said, "Wait, I've been framed."
Stupid criminal news number 2. This is as close to a highbrow crime as we're ever going to get. A cop in Eagan, Minnesota, spotted a guy swerving on the highway last week and pulled him over. But the guy wasn't drunk, he wasn't high, he wasn't eating, he wasn't even texting. No, this literate was reading a book. He told the police he was reading James Patterson book, and he was so engrossed in it that he couldn't put it down. He didn't say which James Patterson book, and since he puts out 75 books a year, it's hard to speculate, but the cop wound up giving him a citation for dangerous driving. I would have taken his book and knocked some sense in him. Just begging to kill somebody. You know, you hate to get wiped out for somebody's lack of judgment. All right, and lastly, 29-year-old David Bollet. Must be French in his past. Anyway, he was hanging outside of a motel in Tacoma, Washington last week when the police drove up and thought he looked suspicious. And when the police checked out David's license plate, found out it was stolen. So David took off running, ran through traffic in both directions on the highway, and he thought he had his solution. There was a police car parked on the overpass that was still running with its lights on. So David assumed the police had gotten out to help chase him. He opened the door and he hopped in on the driver's seat and started to drive away, only to find out that the cops weren't out running after him. They were still inside the car. So David wound up sitting on a cop's lap. Pretty easy to catch him then, wasn't it?
I'm thinking he may have been high. That's just me.
Anyway, that's your stupid criminal news for this Monday. You know, heat of the moment, you do stupid things.
Come on.
That's pretty stupid. In fact, the Lieutenant Tom Thompson talked about the car thief who tried to steal his car cruiser while the cop was still inside.
Runs up to it, yanks the door open, and gets in and sits down on his lap. You know, just oblivious that the officer's there. But I'm sure it was quite a surprise to the officer when the guy yanked the door open and sat in, you know, tried to get in with him sitting in there.
Yeah, when he sat on his lap, the cop was singing, "Don't enjoy this, don't enjoy this, don't enjoy this."
See, if we did that story in a movie or something, we'd say, nah, that never happened.
Well, you know the old saying, truth is stranger than fiction.
It's absolutely true. You can't make this stuff up, as the saying goes.
All righty. It is 48 past the hour on this Monday.
And now it's time for...
Random facts.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All righty, our random facts for today, and maybe a spare. Barry White was a gang member as a teenager, but after he went to jail and heard an Elvis song on the radio, he decided to get into music.
Wow.
80% of the pretzel in the U.S. are made in which state?
Michigan.
Pennsylvania. Pop-Tart sales went up every year from 1982 to 2014, and it's possible they're still going up. It's just the last time Kellogg's announced any Pop-Tart stats. It would take 5 minutes to knock someone out by holding a rag soaked with chloroform under their nose, not 2 seconds like it is in the movie. 5 minutes.
5 minutes, really?
They might be able to wrestle away from you and kick your butt. All right, it would take, I just did that, Steve. And our spare, if the Statue of Liberty was melted down and the copper was sold for scrap, how much you think it'd be worth?
$14,000.
A little better than that, $203,000 at today's price. And that's your stupid criminal news for this Monday.
How much?
$203,000.
Wow.
Well, it is kind of tall, and there is a lot of copper on the thing.
Well, I gotcha, but wow. You ever been there?
Yeah. Didn't go up in it because the line was just outrageous.
Oh, okay. I got to go up in it. It's very interesting.
And the line to get to the crown is even more ridiculous. So, didn't have a whole day to spend at the statue.
If you go, by the way, folks, they run you through a metal detector and all that. So just be aware of that before you go in.
I went before the days of the metal detector.
Before 9/11.
Yeah. Long time before that. In fact, I was there for the World Series. I mean, the World's Fair when it was held in New York.
1892?
No, they had.
Oh, wait, that was Chicago.
Yeah, we went to the World's Fair, and, that's the one where, that was at the place wherever it was that had the big globe. That's where it was. That was the entrance. And
I thought that was Dollyland.
No. And anyway, one of the things I was a kid at the time, obviously, and one of the things that was popular with the kids was a hat, and they sew your name on the brim of the hat. It's a World's Fair hat, and you got your name sewn on it. And my younger brother was named Mike, and they sewed Mike on his hat, and he put it on. We went around the fair, and all the attendants were that worked there would always call you by your name because it's printed right there on your hat. They go, "Hello, Mike. Nice to see you here. Welcome to New York," and blah, 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 blah. And after about the fifth time of that, my little brother turned around to my father and said, "They are so nice here. Everybody already knows my name." And, I remind him of that when he tries to be a smart ass.
I like doing that to people who have their name written somewhere. If they got a name tag on, obviously they know, but you know how it is. Somebody has their name written on their clothes or something somewhere.
Let's see. What do I want to do? I want to do this, I guess. Today's impossible question. Over 175 million of these are sold in the U.S. each year.
Bags of pretzels.
No.
That is an impossible question, Steve.
It's supposed to be. Girl Scout cookies. Buying or selling a house was the number one answer in a recent survey that asked people, what is the most stressful thing you have ever experienced? Yeah, it can be stressful because the bank gets to know you so well. They know more about you than you know about you.
You know, speaking of that, the what's that controversial law called where they that's so the Patriot Act. I opened a checking account last week, and according to requirements of the Patriot Act, good Lord, to open a checking account, the amount of information
they give you
have
a book
to give,
of stuff on it.
It is very intrusive.
The average adult only does this a dozen times a year.
Only does this a dozen times a year. Goes on a roller coaster.
Swimming. The average teenage girl does this about 150 times a year. No, not have sex. This is something that would happen inside a home usually.
Average teenage girl does this 150 times a year. I have no idea.
Slams the door.
Oh. Now, see, my daughter was never a door slammer. It didn't even come to mind.
Well, she bound to cop an attitude with you once in a while, didn't she?
Sure.
So how did she express that?
She would become very quiet and reserved.
If you're over 40, chances are you eat this twice as often as you did when you were a kid.
X-Lax.
Yogurt. 62% of women would not date a guy who had one of these.
Vagina.
A ponytail. Or even worse, a man bun. Lee, that looks so feminine. Have to work for the PC word today. 8 out of 10 kids lie about this.
Grades.
Brushing their teeth. Brushing teeth. All right. Let's see. We'll do a quick round of this. Yes or BS is all this is. Hard to get it wrong. Kleenex were called nosy wipes when they first were marketed in 1924.
BS.
Is BS. There were 12. There are 12 points on the leaf of the Canadian flag.
BS.
How many are there?
9.
11. Astronauts on the moon weigh only half of what they do on the Earth.
BS.
How much do they weigh?
About a quarter.
I'll give you credit. 1/6. Slugs have 4 noses.
Slugs have 4 noses. BS.
Yes, they do. Jupiter is 2,000 times bigger than the planet Earth.
2,000?
Yeah.
You're probably screwing with me by changing the number, but I'm going to say BS.
Is BS. It's 1,300 times. Recycling one glass jar saves enough money to watch TV for how many hours?
Who gives a damn?
3 hours.
Whatever.
So it goes for this Monday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow for a titillating Tuesday. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pops you hear on our airways because they are the backbone of our economy. Here in Moore County, your money will stay here, roll over, and create jobs. And don't forget, millions of Americans have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams and the LeaderMan, and Nick and Colt the dog will all see you at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the still snowy dog park.
And I'm Matt Horsley. Steve, I have had a I have had a perfectly wonderful morning, but this wasn't it. Chris Plant Show is up next, followed by Rush at noon, Hannity at 3, and Levin at 6. Join the conversation and like us at facebook.com/WEEB990. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 o'clock for Mornings with the LeaderMan.
When I come back, you'd better be laughing.
So, what have we learned? Heck, I don't know. But this is one crazy show. Bye now.
Cut! That's it. Go home, everybody. None of this ever happened. Well, y'all come back now, you hear?
I think we're through here.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much, man. That's pretty much all I got, man. Okay, class dismissed. Rock on!
Well, let me tell you something. Everything comes to an end.
97.3 FM and 990 AM. WEEB Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen. And on the web at talk973.com.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Val Dior. Trump administration officials and allies are rallying to the president's defense, responding to that anti-Trump book. Correspondent Ken Lorman reports.
Chief Policy Advisor Stephen Miller, in a combative appearance Sunday on CNN, described the book as nothing but a pile of trash through and through. On Fox News Sunday, CIA Director Mike Pompeo said Mr. Trump is completely fit to lead the country. And Nikki Haley, the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, told ABC's This Week she visits the White House once a week and no one questions the stability of the president. Ken Lorman reporting.
Like a lot of big cities, Washington, D.C. has a rodent problem, and now the nation's capital is trying something new to get rid of them.
D.C.'s newest weapon in its never-ending war on rats is dry ice. City officials tell the Washington Post the frozen form of carbon dioxide complements the poison that's typically used. Rat complaints have hit a 4-year high in D.C. In a demonstration last month, dry ice was stuffed into a rat hole. The ice smoked, giving off carbon dioxide that suffocated the rats. Rich Thomason reporting.
BBC's China editor has stepped down in protest over what she calls a failure to address a gap in compensation between men and women at the public broadcaster.
Carrie Gracie has resigned from her position as the China editor here over what she described as a failure of the BBC to adequately respond to problems involving equal pay between male and female employees at the corporation.
Correspondent Chris Bodine reporting. President Trump headed to Nashville this afternoon to speak at the American Farm Bureau Federation's 99th annual convention. Then he heads to Atlanta to attend the college football championship game between Alabama and Georgia. Kickoff for the game tonight, 8 Eastern. You're listening to Town Hall News.
NCN News. I'm Mike Riley. There's a fire at Trump Tower, New York this morning. FDNY Manhattan Borough Commander Roger W. Sakowicz says that the fire on the roof of the skyscraper is under control.
Tower on the roof. This building has 2 roofs, actually. It has a low roof where all the mechanical equipment is, and then a top roof, like a decorative roof with some vents to cover that equipment so you don't see it from the outside. So we had flames coming out of those vents.
There are no injuries reported. The White House spent all weekend pushing back against Fire and Fury, a new book that repeatedly claims President Trump is unfit for office. The author, Michael Wolff, was on CBS this morning and says he interviewed the president for 3 hours for the book.
He probably had no idea he was speaking to me for this book. When I would meet the president in the White House, we would chat as though we were friends.
The cold temperatures did not keep people away from the slopes, and North Carolina ski resort representatives say it was one of their best weekends. Gunther Yokel was among those skiing at the Sugar Mountain Resort and tells Spectrum News.
It was pretty cold. We started out at 6 below in the morning, and but people came out.
Western North Carolina is now bracing for freezing rain or drizzle, even as parts of eastern North Carolina are still trying to recover from last week's snowstorm. State officials are continuing their fight against the fire ant. State Agriculture Commissioner Steve Troxler says all or parts of 74 counties are included in a quarantine, which places limits on the transport of wood and soil items that would provide a way for those ants to find new homes.
Humans do move these pests around, unfortunately, and we see
it with all the pests that we have that are not, especially not native to North Carolina.
A Concord man has been arrested in the shooting death of his wife, a paramedic. 53-year-old Patrick O'Sullivan has been sought since Thursday night. He's in custody. You're listening to NCN News.
Do you want the latest insider news and information for your favorite college sports team? Subscribe now to the ACC Sports Journal magazines. Our ACC Sports Journal magazines are filled with extensive detail on each team for football, basketball, and recruiting. It's a must-buy for every fan of the Tar Heels, Blue Devils, Wolfpack, Demon Deacons, and the rest of the ACC. Subscribe now and save 40% off the cover price. That's a full year's subscription for just $24. Be sure to subscribe now to receive our 2018 ACC Basketball Recruiting Guide. As a subscriber, you'll get your copy before it hits the newsstands. Ordering is fast and easy too. Just go to accsports.com right now and click on the big yellow Subscribe Now button. Don't miss out on this offer. Go to accsports.com now and click on the Subscribe Now button.
Thank you for calling Carolina Air.
Someone told me you folks don't charge for a service call. I don't believe it.
It is true, ma'am. We get that reaction a lot.
That doesn't sound right. So everything is free?
Our service calls are free, but we do charge if you need parts or repair.
Wow. Most companies charge $100 just to come out.
At Carolina Air, we do not charge to come to your home. Nickel and diming customers is not in our handbook, so schedule your free appointment today at carolinaair.com or 910-684-3864.
We'll start the day mostly sunny to partly cloudy across the area, then turn partly to mostly cloudy through the afternoon. A small chance of a sprinkler light shower late in the day, mainly from around the Triangle area north and west. Highs will reach about 40 to 48. Tonight, some patchy light rain possible, mostly for the northern half of the state. A slight chance of some sleet or light freezing rain there. All that ending after midnight with lows in the low to mid-30s. Then we'll see a mix of clouds and increasing sun Tuesday with highs up to 50 to 56. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
This hour of the Chris Plant Show is brought to you by Champion Car Wash on OUS 1 in downtown Southern Pines. Clean, fast, friendly, and free with every 10th wash. Check out our new look.
Her name was Oprah. She was a showgirl. Hey, it's Oprah for president. Our next president is Oprah. Oprah Winfrey. No, really, the talk show host. That's it. NBC's with her. Hollywood's behind her. It's official. The idiocracy is here. Oprah last night got an award. Boy, what a speech. These guys really adore themselves. Quite remarkable. Did y'all watch Black? Wear black to watch the big Golden Globes last night? I know nobody watched the Golden Globes last night. Why would anybody watch the Golden Globes last night? It was remarkably free of attacks on President Trump. I was quite astonished. I watched it because I have to, and for a variety of reasons, I have to watch it. And these awards shows. This being the first big one of the year, you know, you get the Screen Actors Guild Award after that, and then the Oscars. And it was very exciting, I must say. Very, very exciting. The women wore black. The Germans wore gray. I remember it well. It was a little sort of Casablanca reference there. Because they're in mourning. You know what they're mourning? They're mourning the end of an era, the end of the Harvey Weinstein era. I don't know what they're mourning. But there was Harvey Weinstein's funeral apparently last night at the red carpet was black. All the women were supposed to wear black dresses. Not every woman wore black dresses. A couple of women wore red dresses, and now the black dress crowd is angry with the red dress crowd because there's really no end to this sort of stuff. But there it is. It was entertaining, and the Oprah Winfrey, apparently she gave a speech, and we were told it was going to get all political, and it really didn't. It didn't get Trump political anyway, not in any direct fashion. And watching the whole thing, and I watched it. I might have, averted my eyes here and there to read something worthwhile, but I otherwise watched pretty much the entire thing last night, and I kept waiting for Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep. They all knew. You see, that I kept waiting for them to win. And the Post, this movie, The Post, the Spielberg, about how Richard Nixon is bad because of the Pentagon Papers, even though it's about how LBJ and JFK lied to the American people for years on end, but they're not the villains of the story. It's good to be a Democrat, because the first version of history is written by your friends and, your brother-in-law at the New York Times. And then the second draft of history is written by Hollywood, which just cleans up all of your stuff for you. They'd bring back the blue dress from the dry cleaners, and it's perfectly clean. There's nothing on it. It's a wonderful thing. And the Vietnam War is apparently all Richard Nixon's fault, and the Pentagon Papers, which doesn't mention 7,000 pages, Richard Nixon's name is never mentioned in the Pentagon Papers. Richard Nixon was not president in the time frame that the Pentagon Papers were being collected, accumulated, about lies to the American people. It was all Democrats all the time. But they got snubbed, and they did a big joke at the beginning of the awards thing last night where somebody came out, at the mere mention of Steven Spielberg's name, somebody came out holding 12 Golden Globes clumsily in their arms, and everybody laughed. Oh, and Steven Spielberg and Meryl Streep, they're all embarrassed and everything. And boy, did they not clean up last night. It's another movie. It's a movie very much worth not seeing. Although on Friday I went and I saw this Churchill movie, Darkest Hour. That's a good movie. I'd recommend that movie. That's a movie worth seeing right there. Gary Oldman, and he won the award last night for actor for playing Churchill. He's a fine actor. He does a good job of playing dress up and make believe, has for a very long time, and that was one worth seeing. So the politics of it all and all of that goofiness and Oprah for president, NBC, they're a television network. They have a news organization contained therein. And NBC sent out a tweet last night. They have a Twitter account, apparently. And, in fact, it was before the Golden Globes even began. At 5:09 p.m., according to the timestamp on it, NBC sent out a tweet that says, with a picture of Oprah, "Nothing but respect for our future president. # Golden Globes." That's what it's, and "our" is in all caps. Maybe they're thinking Oprah will become the president of NBC? Is that what they're thinking? I don't think it is. I think they're thinking that Oprah, old Orca, as she's known, to her friends call her Orca. Orca will be the next president of the United States. This is what they're peddling now. And aren't they still objecting to the fact that a reality TV star is in the White House now? I mean, honestly, were it not for double standards, liberals would have no standards at all. But they're so off the rails that while they're actively protesting and fasting or something because Donald Trump is president, they're calling for Oprah to be the next president. That's what's going on here. And she gave a speech, and there literally, it is just, boy, she gave this speech, and it's apparently about Harvey Weinstein and the Hollywood pig fest that's been going on for decades and decades now. But it wasn't about Trump. It wasn't about immigration or about Middle East peace or anything. And they're all so wowed by it. They're all so taken by it. Honestly, the whole thing is show business. It's all just a television show. And I've been saying this for years. When Barack Obama was elected president, I said correctly that he was elected president because it's become a TV show. And he's a TV star. He's got a nice smile, and he reads a teleprompter well, and he seems convincing and pleasant enough, and his Q factor was very positive. And he was sold to us like a can of soup. This guy had no credentials to be president. He'd been elected senator from Illinois in a crooked race where they unsealed court documents on his divorce documents on his opponent and released them to their friends in the news media as part of an orchestrated smear campaign so that the Democrat, surprise, surprise, in Illinois would win. But Barack Obama had no political credentials. He had no accomplishments as a senator or a state senator or a community organizer, none whatsoever. Jeremiah Wright would have killed any Republican's career, not just chances in one election, but you'd be out of politics forever if you're a Republican and it turned out that you had a guy like Jeremiah Wright as your spiritual guidepost. That'd be the end of your political career. Boom, you're out, okay? But Barack Obama was sold to us like a can of soup, and we bought him like a can of soup. And then he smiled his way through 8 years and oversaw a few genocides and sicked the IRS on his political enemies and waged war on the press and corrupted the Justice Department and you know, a few other things. The CIA corrupted the CIA with that Brennan guy who voted for the Communist Party candidate Gus Hall. But never mind all that stuff. And then after 8 years of Obama, the media, after packaging this guy up like he's a product from the Mars Corporation and sold him to us, then they're shocked to find that Donald Trump becomes president. And while they're, again, still expressing their shock over this, they're telling us Oprah should be the next president. I mean, what do people, does making sense seem important to you in any way? I'm just curious. It's quite amazing, isn't it? Yes, it is. Yeah, it's terrible. And listen, we've got also President Trump, and over the weekend with Steve Bannon stuff, and Steve Bannon apologized, and he said he's sorry to the family now, which kind of suggests that he's not challenging or contesting the quotes, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Stephen Miller from the White House was on the television yesterday with Jake Tapper. And to say the interview didn't go well, I think, would be to understate matters dramatically. The White House official had to be escorted from the CNN building by security. That's how well it went. According to reports this morning, CBS News is reporting that the CNN people had to call security, and security had to come and remove Stephen Miller from CNN because he refused to leave. He liked it there so much. And whether any of that is true or not, it is CNN. You got to take it with a block of salt because it's coming from CNN. So what are you going to do about all that? We're going to get into that and all that stuff. And the fake news media continues to question President Trump's mental abilities, his acuity, while calling for Oprah to be the president. I've always been I've always kind of liked Oprah. I don't agree with her politically, but she hasn't been over the years too in my face with her politics, and she's a remarkable story, an American success story, an extraordinary American success story. She should recognize that, just by the way. And I'm not a big anti-Oprah person, but that doesn't mean that she's the next president of the United States. And for what they pick her out because of what? Well, race, class, and gender. She's a billionaire, though. She is a billionaire. Let's go to a little audio, Mr. Mike McKay. We're at 888-630-9625. 888-630-9625 is the telephone number here. And there are so many wacky stories, not just the Golden Globes, but the Fire and Fury and the author Michael Wolff and the news media and Chunk Todd sucking up to Wolff and Wolff playing sort of both sides of the fence at the same time, saying that he believes this book will finally end the Trump presidency in one breath. And then in the next breath, he says, I had no political agenda at all. So that's how trustworthy the guy is. He's either got a split personality or... Let's go to soundbite number one. Numero uno. Last night, I was watching again, and the red carpet with people arriving, the black carpet they're calling, because they're mourning the loss of their favorite era in Hollywood, I guess, the Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey era, come to a screeching halt. So they're holding a funeral for what they will refer to from this point on as the good old days, I think. And did you see the campaign? People put up billboards around Los Angeles with we all knew. Seth Meyers, who's the host of the thing last night, with the balloon coming out of his head, coming out of his mouth, says, we all knew. We all knew. And a billboard for the movie The Post with Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks playing Katharine Graham, the owner of The Post, and Ben Bradley, who's of course Jason Robards, and walking up the steps, and the balloon coming out of Meryl Streep's mouth says, "I knew," and the balloon coming out of Tom Hanks' mouth says, "We all knew." And that's a fact. They all knew. So the hypocrisy, the clown car of absurd hypocrisies by these people just continues unabated. And I love the fact that it's their problem. They're the ones who did all this stuff, right? The Hollywood people, and they all knew about it, and the Harveys and the Spaceys and all the rest of them. They all knew about it. Everybody knew about it. Half of us out here knew about it. They all certainly knew about it. And now they're having a party like, oh, we're holding ourselves accountable. But really they're lecturing the rest of America. And in this industry and in every industry, one of them said. Well, no, actually, no, not in every industry. In yours and in the news media, certainly, big splashes in those two industries. But across every industry, no, I don't think so. There's a certain amount of misconduct everywhere, of course, but not an epidemic like you have in the Hollywood business. He says, so they're holding themselves accountable for their own behavior, which they spent years and years and years covering up and turning a blind eye to, like Barack Obama with, drug smuggling into the United States. And now, because they've decided to police themselves, now they're more dazzling and more wonderful and more fabulous than ever before as Hollywood people. And hypocrisy doesn't even enter their minds. And they're just amazing Hollywood goofballs. They're Hollywood crazy people. Utterly nuts. So President Trump, I expected, was going to be the target, that he was going to be a piñata all night long. And when Seth Meyers, the host, was asked, he was on his way into the hall on the so-called red carpet, and he was asked, well, who's going to be your big target tonight? And what did he say?
Who are you going to go after the most?
I think that if you guessed, you'd probably be right. Okay. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Oh. Who are you going to go after the most? They've all got Trump, right? And then, of course, you're going to go after Trump, right? You're going to go after Trump. Maybe you could suck up to Obama and Hillary a little bit just for good measure. And then, amazingly, there was obviously collusion going on because they didn't go after Trump. Few and far between, and milquetoast as they were. A couple of slights, but nothing significant. It was remarkable. 888-630-9625. Audio from that and the crazy press and Michael Wolff and Trump coming up.
You're listening to The Chris Plante Show.
The national debt is now over $20 trillion. What happens next? Rising inflation drops into the dollar's value. Some experts say another crash is coming. What will be left of your investments for your children or your grandchildren? Well, you can fight this, not with stocks or bonds, but with gold and silver coins in an IRA from Augusta Precious Metals. During periods of great volatility, precious metals regularly outperform stocks because they're a true wealth asset that have real value. During the 3-year recovery period after the 2008 crash, the Dow went up only 3.5%, while gold doubled in price. Call Augusta now at 855-858-5807 and learn how an IRA backed by physical gold and silver can hedge against inflation and build a true legacy for your family. Regain control of your financial destiny and call Augusta Precious Metals right now at 855-858-5807 and get your free gold IRA guide. Call 855-858-5807. As in any investment, the price of gold and silver may fluctuate over time and you could lose money. Check with financial and legal advisors. The national debt is now over $20 trillion. What happens next? Rising inflation drops in the dollar's value. Some experts say another crash is coming. You can fight this, not with stocks or bonds, but with gold and silver coins in an IRA from Augusta Precious Metals. Call 855-858-5807 and learn how an IRA backed by physical gold and silver can hedge against inflation. Call Augusta Precious Metals right now at 855-858-5807 and get a free gold IRA guide. Call 855-858-5807. The national debt is now over $20 trillion. What happens next? Rising inflation drops in the dollar's value. Some experts say another crash is coming. You can fight this, not with stocks or bonds, but with gold and silver coins in an IRA from Augusta Precious Metals. Call 855-858-5807 and learn how an IRA backed by physical gold and silver can hedge against inflation. Call Augusta Precious Metals right now at 855-858-5807 and get a free gold IRA guide. Call 855-858-5807.
Attention all authors. Page Publishing is looking for authors. Have you written a book and want to get it published? Page Publishing will get your book into bookstores and for sale online at Amazon, Apple iTunes, and other outlets. They handle all aspects of the publishing process for you. Printing, cover art, publicity, copyright, and editing. Call 800-501-3689 now for your free author submission kit. That's 800-501-3689 for your free author submission kit. Again, 800-501-3689.
This is John Greenhut, and if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, Power Swabs is the answer. In 5 minutes, you'll see 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. Even better, there's no messy strips or trays that you'll have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes, and you're done. To try Power Swabs, call 1-800-679-0969. Your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free. 1-800-679-0969. That's 1-800-679-0969.
Serving more people, more places, 24/7. If your AC breaks down, we'll restore your indoor heaven. Installation or repair, one call, we'll be there. It's your family, don't delay. Comfort's just a call away. We're Comfort Services. Comfort Services.
You've heard the comment, save your energy. Well, Comfort Services can save your energy bill and make your home more comfortable, specializing in insulation, HVAC, and comprehensive air quality services. Locally owned since 2003, Comfort Services is nationally certified and a Carrier Energy Expert dealer with highly qualified technicians. Go to ComfortServicesinc.com or call 910-695-2665 on Highway 5 next to Habitat in Aberdeen. 910-695-2665.
Comfort's just a call away. Comfort Services.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
Pride Plumbing is proud to serve Moore County with superior workmanship and dependable plumbing service, including 24/7 emergency service. Like the name says, we take pride in our work and your safety. Our employees must pass background and drug tests and share Pride Plumbing's reputation for quality service. From simple leaky faucets to new water heaters and sewer lines, backflow testing and installation, drain cleaning, plumbing repairs, and, if necessary, replacement and remodeling. A family business with over 50 years of prideful service. Go online to callprideplumbing.com and check out our 5-star customer reviews. We offer a 10% discount to all veterans and active military. Call Pride Plumbing of Moore County at 910-295-0152. 910-295-0152. Serving with pride since 1965.
97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. We've got you by the ears.
Now, one of the things making the rounds, I went to the NBC Twitter account where they're calling for Oprah to be the next president of the United States. And posted below that are a number of photographs of Harvey Weinstein and Oprah. Oprah and Weinstein. Weinstein and Oprah. She's given Weinstein a big kiss on the cheek in one, and it looks like they're receiving an award together in another. They look friendly and palsy and stuff. So as my friend Seton Motley sent this, Oprah Harvey Weinstein ticket. The Vice President of the United States, Harvey Weinstein. They could bring the Cobra Code back to the Vice President's residence there, like with Joe Biden when he's walking around naked, flailing all over the place and all that crazy stuff. There's so it's a good luck to Oprah. And this, I hope to pull this up in a minute, but my friend Larry O'Connor wrote an op-ed today in the Washington Times in which he makes an interesting point, and that is that Hollywood and NBC looking to Oprah to be their candidate in 2020 to run for president against Donald Trump. What kind of an insult is that to every elected Democrat in the country? Apparently the Democrats are a lagging indicator. They're behind the Republicans and looking outside of Washington and outside of politics for someone with leadership skills to come into Washington. And now, what does this say about old Kamala Harris? What does it say about Cory Booker and about the Castro brothers? And what does it say about the stable of politicians that the Democrats have been training up and building and feeding and taking out on the track for years and years and years now, that they've been prepping their bench to rise to the upper ranks? Well, the reality is what they really have is Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. Those are the leaders of the party. And they've got, you know, Tom Perez and these Kirsten Gillibrand, who goes around dropping the F-bomb on the campaign trail, which is fine, by the way. The news media completely ignored all of that stuff. Kamala Harris, too, dropping the F-bomb out there from the stage at events with children and grandmothers and all that good stuff. It's an amazing time to be alive.
This is the Chris Plant Show.
I'm Steve Leader Adams, candidate for sheriff. The county's animal shelter recently came under the control of the sheriff's department. Our current sheriff euthanizes 25% of all dogs and 66% of all cats that come into the shelter. As he told the pilot, when they face overcrowding, their only option is to euthanize animals. Really? That's typical bureaucratic thinking, because there are other options. On my first day as your next sheriff, our shelter will become a no-kill shelter. I already have hundreds of volunteers ready to help foster our defenseless four-legged friends. We will call the many rescue groups across our state to help find homes for our animals. Plus, we will be at adoption points in our community 7 days a week, seeking homes for our animals, and the shelter will be open weekends and day and evenings during the week. Now, I'm running as an unaffiliated candidate, so everyone gets to decide who will be sheriff. Because I am unaffiliated, I'm required to get 3,000 registered voters to sign my petition to allow my name on the ballot, which gives you more choices next November. We're just a few hundred away from our goal, but I still need your help. Please go to adamsforsheriff.com and click on the Sign Petition tab, and then pick one of the 4 easy ways to sign it. Or drop by the station here at WEEB on Midland Road, and you can sign it here. Or text me your mailing address to my personal cell phone at 690-2946, and I will mail you a petition with a postage-paid return envelope. That's 690-2946 or adamsforsheriff.com. Paid for by Adams for Sheriff.
When I opened my business, I knew I needed insurance. How much, what kind, where to buy? No idea. A friend told me to call FCIG, First Casualty Insurance Group, Southern Pines. My FCIG rep told me what I needed, and she showed me how to save on my home and car insurance, too. I was really surprised to find out that they represent over 3 dozen companies. Wow.
Time to call FCIG, First Casualty Insurance Group, Southern Pines. 910-692-8303. 910-692-8303.
Every morning is different for everybody. Nate gets up for the early shift, while Brad is just getting home from the night shift. Pam runs a PR and a 5K, while Drew runs late to work. Beth proposes a road trip to her boyfriend, while Mark proposes to his girlfriend. Luckily, there's a McDonald's for every morning.
Scratch-made buttermilk biscuits are waiting for you at McDonald's. For a limited time, enjoy a flaky bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit for only $1.69. Scratch-made biscuits available at most restaurants in listening area. Cannot be combined with combo meal.
If you are concerned about unjustified NCDOT destruction of Midland Road and needless waste of your tax dollars to fund it, please sign the online petition. Google Save Midland Road petition. The link will come up. Your signature is very important. Petitions will be presented to our elected local and state officials who have the power to stop NCDOT destruction of iconic historic Midland Road, our quality of life, heritage, and economy, which is based in the unique beauty and character of this area. Google Save Midland Road petition. The NCDOT traffic study shows no safety justification on Midland Road to justify tree removal projects at the entrance to Southern Pines, crossover closures, new intersections requiring tree removal. Trees do not cause accidents. Incompetent drivers cause accidents. There are practical options, including stop signs and, most important, lowering the speed limit to 35 and enforcing it. Google Save Midland Road Petition. Your signature is very important. Thank you.
Do you know what can be lurking in the water that comes into contact with you and your family? Is there something in your water? Bad odor, hardness, bacteria, iron, lead, arsenic, brown or blue-green stains? Do you have dry skin, hair discoloration, or your water just tastes bad? If you need an RO system, water conditioning, well repairs, well inspection, an irrigation or water well, then it's time to call American Water Treatment Services. We at American believe we can do just about anything with your water, except walk on it. The owners, Cheryl and Guy, believe that you, as a customer, deserve prompt and courteous service at a fair price. And Guy should know he is the water guy. American is fully insured and a member of the Better Business Bureau. Call American Water Treatment Services for a free in-home water analysis. You can also find them in the yellow pages under Water. Call American Water Treatment at 910-944-3140 and ask for the Water Guy. That's 910-944-3140.
We'll start the day mostly sunny to partly cloudy across the area, then turn partly to mostly cloudy through the afternoon. A small chance of a sprinkler light shower late in the day, mainly from around the Triangle area north and west. Highs will reach about 40 to 48. Tonight, some patchy light rain possible, mostly for the northern half of the state. A slight chance of some sleet or light freezing rain there. All that ending after midnight with lows in the low to mid-30s. Then we'll see a mix of clouds and increasing sun Tuesday with highs up to 50 to 56. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. We've got you by the ears.
Well, if the Hollywood foreign press thinks so little of the movie The Post with Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep, the movie by Steven Spielberg, that they got nothing, nada, goose egg, a bump, nothing, then I suppose, there's no reason that any of us should go see it. Also, the racists in Hollywood snubbed a movie called Get Out. Now, this is my best girl, and I went and saw this in the theater, and we've seen it since. We've seen it a second time, actually. And it is, I think, it's a fun movie, this movie Get Out. And it's kind of about racism. It's a sort of a satire, but it's a freaky movie. And Jordan Peele of Key and Peele comedy team, they're funny. And Jordan Peele was the screenwriter and the director, right? But snubbed. They didn't even give him a nomination for a screenplay or a director. And then the movie got nothing last night. And it's a very different kind of movie. It's an interesting movie. I think it's a good movie, and I think it's fun. And it's a little out there, but it's fun. And it should have gotten something, but boy, did it not get anything. Now, what did, of course, is the usual. What did win big? Of course, the usual stuff. I mean, if you have, a trans agenda, a gay agenda, this, but they had this movie about the billboards, sort of off the beaten path as well, and they got all kinds of awards. But Spielberg never stood up last night except to go to the men's room, and Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks never got up last night except to go over and say hello to Harvey Weinstein, who was outside trying to get in. He wasn't really. But it would have been funny if you had. Let's go to a little bit of audio. Let's go to soundbite number 2. Oprah for president? Is that what we're talking about here? We were talking about it. We were talking about here. You know what, Michael? I should probably go to a phone call before we get back to more audio. We're at 888-630-9625. Talking about and talking about with Michael Piercy here just a couple of minutes ago. Oprah Winfrey for president. What's her platform? You get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car. That's her. And that's the State of the Union address. As Michael said, you're doing the State of the Union, watching the State of the Union at home when the president from the well of the House of Representatives says, all right, everybody, look under your seats. And everybody in America has an envelope taper. Well, how did this get here? It's the great and powerful Oprah. Look what she can do. This is just amazing. Under your seat. And it turns out that Alexa arranged for it. You know, you got your Amazon. Jeff Bezos, he's a Democrat Party guy, he owns the Washington Post. And that's okay because he's a left-wing partisan. So it's all right that he bought the Post. He's the richest man in the world, and he's Dr. Evil. He lives on a hollowed-out volcano. He travels by submarine. He's got a space station. Speaking of what, you see this Elon Musk / NASA missile launch last night out of Cape Canaveral in Florida. It's a secret. The payload is a secret. But launch apparently successful, putting a satellite in orbit. And here's the fun thing. Let's spread the rumor. And I actually had somebody tell this to me, which I was like, well, if it's not true, it's great disinformation for the North Koreans. That the item that was put into space, the satellite that was put into space, is capable of directing an electromagnetic pulse weapon at, for example, North Korea and shorting out their entire electrical grid from space. Now, I don't believe that's true, but it's fun, you know, and we should go ahead and spread it anyway, just to put the fear of God into those commies, you know, stinking, lousy, dirty, filthy, killing, kleptocratic commie bastards, you know, communists. All right, let's go to the telephones, Mr. Mike. Let's go to Tanya in Rockville, Maryland. Tanya, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Hi. Yeah, I wanted to make a comment about Oprah possibly being president. I'm sitting here and I'm like, God forbid, Lord have mercy, God. Tanya is like, or I'm sorry myself, but Oprah is Oprah is a prime example of liberalism as far as her convictions of God. I mean, one of the things that made Trump so successful as far as the conservative is concerned is because of his convictions and God. And I think a lot of people tend to leave that out. But that's huge. I mean, when you look at the relationship with Israel and everything that's been going on there, if you look at who he put in leadership to, I call it tame the beast with the UN, with what is her name?
Nikki Haley?
Yes, Nikki Haley. Oh, my gosh. Nikki Haley. And, you know, so I feel like with Oprah, if you ever listen to her talk in some of her past shows, and I think it's like the old show or whatever, that spiritual show she has. Yeah. When it comes to like Adonai God, the God that the United States was founded on, no. She would be for homosexuality. She would be for abortion. Everything that the liberal is for, as far as the conscience is concerned. Sure. Morality. She would be for it.
Sure, that's why they like Oprah. I mean, you know, Oprah's on the team. They know Oprah's on the team, and I don't agree with Oprah on much, and I don't think Oprah should run for president. But if the Democrats want to run her for president, you know, with a Rosie O'Donnell as her running mate or something, that'd be fine with me. This is kind of where the Democrat Party, and you know what this says to me, Tanya? That the whole thing, and I've been saying it for years, the whole thing has become a television show. The media, you know, Stephen Colbert is now lobbying President Trump in the hopes of getting one of President Trump's reported media awards, right? So, me, I want one of the Trump media awards, you know, the fake media. And the only thing I have to say about that is that it's interesting that we look at Stephen Colbert, and Stephen Colbert thinks of himself as being essentially the news media when he's supposed to be a comedian and a late-night show host and entertainment. But he's such a fanatic that he should be wearing a uniform. And these people, they really think they don't know the difference between the real world and the TV world. They don't know the difference between show business and journalism. And one of the problems is that most journalists don't know the difference between show business and journalism anymore either. You look at Chunk Todd, and I'm going to play some audio from Jake Tapper yesterday at CNN. The whole thing has just become entertainment. It's part of our massive entertainment industry. And on some level, that's why President Trump was elected. He is famous from TV. He's famous being a billionaire. It's why Barack Obama was elected. He came from the world of politics, but he was nothing more than a celebrity. And he became president of the United States. And now Oprah would be the next natural iteration of the direction that we've taken here. And I'm obviously not in favor of it. I would mock it, but if the Democrats want to run Oprah for president, by all means. And again, they have no qualms about attacking President Trump and Republicans for electing a guy who is a television reality TV show host, who is also a real estate magnate, a billionaire, a national figure in his own right before he went to television. And then he entered the realm of politics. And as he pointed out in a tweet over the weekend, I don't know if you saw this, Tanya, but he pointed it because he's being attacked for being insane and all this stuff, the usual stuff. And he said, hey, I became a billionaire. I went to some of the best schools, a very successful television host, and then I ran for president once and won, which is a clear shot at Hillary, who ran for president twice and lost to Barack Obama the nomination first time because of corruption of the Democrat Party then. But they picked the candidate that won, so they had that going for them. Tanya, no Oprah. No to Oprah, huh?
No, God forbid.
God forbid. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
God bless. You be well. Isn't that nice? Oprah. Seth Meyers was showing up. He was the host of the thing last night. He's a talk show host. And he'd stopped on the red carpet to talk to these people, Carson Daly and some woman, and they're babbling and said, "Oh, you have kids." He was there, Seth Meyers, with his wife, and they have a little boy at home. They have a little boy, and the question was, well, why don't you bring your little boy with you to the event? You're the host. You could have your kid with you at this thing.
I tried to convince Seth to put a tux on him and bring him out here tonight, and Seth said no.
I couldn't bring him around all these monsters.
No, I couldn't bring him around all these monsters, and they all laugh uncomfortably. The thing is, he's really not kidding. He's serious. He wouldn't bring his child around all these monsters. This is, they're putting on this fake little show now where they're cleaning their own house. Please. Come on. And there was a lot of whining last night, and Amy Poehler saying to Seth Meyers, "Oh, you're mansplaining to me," and lots of guilt about being a straight white male and having white presenters. And then, of course, they snub Jordan Peele and Get Out, but never mind all that. Carson Daly, I didn't know he was still out there. I thought he was like sharing an apartment with Billy Bush somewhere. But Carson Daly, he was on the red carpet talking to people last night, and they're congratulating themselves for admitting that they have some kind of a groping sexual abuse problem in Hollywood. They're very self-satisfied. They're preening all over the place last night about how great they are for recognizing that they're a bunch of grotesque sexual deviant pigs.
The stars all coming in tonight, as we've mentioned before. Definitely a little bit of a different tone today. Women wearing black in solidarity for the obvious reasons. Men wearing the Time's Up pins. And really, it's still a night to celebrate that this conversation is happening.
It's a night to celebrate that this conversation is out. You guys go and have a conversation, all right? Go over there and have a nice conversation. And they're wearing these pins that say Time's Up. Was there a pound sign in front of Time's Up? I think there's a pound sign. It's kind of, have they abandoned Pound Me Too? Because I kind of preferred Pound Me Too. They're very pleased with themselves because they've engaged in this cover-up for decades, and now they can come out of the closet and admit that they all knew. They all knew. And then the big show began, and Seth Meyers was, again, the host. And there were a couple of funny jokes. He made a funny joke about Harvey Weinstein and a funny joke about Kevin Spacey. They were only okay, though. And Seth Meyers talking about the sexual harassment and naming actors, calling them up to the stage to collect their statuettes.
For the male nominees in the room tonight, this is the first time in 3 months it won't be terrifying to hear your name read out loud.
Well, that's a fairly funny joke. It's true. Living in Hollywood for the last X number of months, if you turn on the television and you hear them talking about you, it's probably because you're about to be thrown into the Hollywood wood chipper. That's where that goes. Now, last night there was a joke, and Michael Piercy, being a smart guy, caught this. Seth Meyers with the Donald Trump. This was 3 minutes in. It started at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And 3 minutes in, at 8:03 p.m., the first anti-Trump joke says, it's the Hollywood press, whatever it is, group that decides who wins these statuettes, these awards last night, right? And it set up a joke for Seth Meyers, which may have sounded familiar to some people.
And we're all here tonight courtesy of the Hollywood Foreign Press. A string, yeah. Give it up for the Hollywood Foreign Press.
The Hollywood Foreign Press.
A string of 3 words that could not have been better designed to infuriate our president. Hollywood Foreign Press.
I had to explain Hollywood, the 3 words.
The
Which
only
3 words
name
are
that
you
would
talking
make him
about?
angrier would be the Hillary Mexico Salad Association.
The Hillary Mexico, it's the Hollywood Foreign Press. See, President Trump doesn't like Hollywood, he doesn't like foreign, and he doesn't like press. And then you have 5A there. Michael Piercy said, wait a minute, that joke sounds familiar. So being a crafty guy, he went back to our own trough, and found last year at the 2017 Golden Globes, where Meryl Streep was granted an award. I think it was the Cecil B. DeMille Award, but they've changed his name to Cecil B. DeMille. And last night, Seth Meyers said Oprah was winning the Cecil B. DeMille Award, and he's a little joke. He said, what an honor this is for Cecil B. DeMille, for Oprah to be winning his award. Last year, Meryl Streep. Now, Seth Meyers, this is why nobody's going to see movies in the theaters anymore, because Hollywood no longer has any original thoughts. They ran out of original thoughts some time ago. Meryl Streep at last year's Golden Globe with the same joke about Trump and the Hollywood Foreign Press.
All of us in this room really belong to the most vilified segments in American society right now. Think about it.
Really?
Hollywood, foreigners, and the press.
Aha! It was last year's joke, recycled. Come on, guys, have an original thought. Wow. And then, of course, everything has to be about, and there was a lot of stuff about race, because that's what they're all about. They're Democrats. A lot of oh, look at the clock. A lot of stuff about race and guilty white liberal stuff, and a certain amount of the sexist thing. And they're all doing mea culpa, and some shots at white people, because that's in vogue these days with the left. They love racism, and they've just modified the Democrat Party's old racist playbook. They've updated it in ways they think will benefit them at the polling places. But I'll get into that. And of course, Michael Wolff with the anti-Trump book. If it's possible to talk out of 3 sides of one's mouth, Michael Wolff is currently in the process of doing just that.
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show.
If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown staining, bad odors, and lead with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to goodclearwater.com. That's goodclearwater.com.
Does getting something flavorful and balanced on the table feel like a chore? Let HelloFresh take care of meal planning so you can save time and have fun cooking and eating. Visit HelloFresh.com and choose what meals you want from an ever-changing and delicious menu. Then, let HelloFresh shop and deliver pre-measured ingredients with simple 30-minute recipes that require minimal cleanup and cost less than $10 a meal. Go to HelloFresh.com/try now to get $30 off your first box. That's HelloFresh.com/try now.
This is John Greenhut, and if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, Power Swabs is the answer. In 5 minutes, you'll see 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. Even better, there's no messy strips or trays that you'll have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes, and you're done. To try Power Swabs, call 1-800-679-0969. Your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free. 1-800-679-0969. That's 1-800-679-0969.
If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown staining, bad odors, and lead with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to goodclearwater.com. That's goodclearwater.com.
Hey, it's Keith again from Sweet Dreams Mattresses and More in Southern Pines, and I'm excited to announce that Serta has now joined our family of brands at Sweet Dreams Mattresses and More. That's right, find all makes and models of Serta brand mattresses at Sweet Dreams. We just made mattress shopping simple by providing all the big brands under one roof. Beautyrest, Sealy Posturepedic, Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Spring Air, Hypnos, and now Serta. Sweet Dreams Mattresses and More is locally owned and operated since 2002. We are located across the entrance from Goodwill in Southern Pines. Call 246-2233. Better sleep, sweeter dreams.
We're all too familiar with that sound, aren't we? And whether it's hurricanes, snow, ice, or thunderstorms, many of us have learned through experience what it's like to have our lives disrupted by power failures, especially when it affects the very young and the elderly. At Premier Power Generation, they'll protect you against power failure because they distribute the Kohler Power Generation Systems, which automatically provides power even if you're not at home, so that you'll never be without water, heat, air conditioning, or lighting. Premier Power Generations is on Highway 211 just west of Olmsted Village. And to find out more, you can call them at 295-3188. Their technicians are local and always there, and will be glad to give you a free estimate. So to protect yourself against the ever-changing weather, call Premier Power Generation at 295-3188. 295-3188. What keeps your house toasty warm, cooks your food and heats your water, and gives you a great excuse to hang out in front of your fireplace? Propane gas brought to you by McNeil Oil and Propane of Aberdeen. McNeil Oil and Propane can handle all of your propane or heating oil needs. Call them at 944-2329 and have them come out to fill your own tank, or they can provide you with a new one. When you need propane or heating oil, call McNeil Oil and Propane today at 944-2329. That's 944-2329.
I'm Carlton Moore from Keys Appliance Center. Today's homeowners want more choices than black, white, or stainless steel for their kitchen appliances. That's why GE Appliances created Slate. This rich matte finish offers the premium look of stainless steel, yet it's easy to clean, resists fingerprints, and holds magnets. Now everyone can enjoy a versatile finish that complements surrounding floors, cabinets, and countertops. Thanks to Slate, GE Appliances is giving homeowners a new look to love. Come see it for yourself at Keys Appliance Center, 104 East Main Street in downtown Aberdeen.
It's a very happy new year at Philly and Colts. We're celebrating 2018 and our first year at Little River. We want everyone to join us for the celebration, and we have gifts for you. Try anything from our new Black Horse Bar menu and leave with a gift card for your next visit. How much is the gift card? You decide. Spend 20, get 20. Spend 50, get 50. Come back as many times as you want. Collect gifts the whole month of January. Check out our new menu at phillyandcolts.com. Some restrictions apply.
97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. We've got you by the ears.
Newsweek magazine with the headline that Trump could destroy the entire human species. According to a Yale psychiatrist who should have her diploma pulled by whatever university gave it to her. Her name is Bandy. Not Brandy, but Bandy. Bandy Lee. She's a Yale psychiatry professor, and she's obviously a nut. She's a complete nut. And I'll get into that. Let's go down to that audio, Mr. Mike. It's number 6, soundbite number 6. Also, there's this woman, an actress by the name of Connie Britton. Anybody know Connie Britton? Connie Britton wore a black sweatshirt last night, or a sweater, rather, and had the words, "Poverty is sexist," emblazoned across the chest of the sweater. Well, someone checked, and the sweater is by Lingua Franca, and it costs $380 before you have the custom design put on the thing. So, poverty is sexism. I guess she's free of sexism, she herself. Also, the New Yorker has a big splash coming out with their cover. I'll get to that in a couple of minutes. Seth Meyer, talking about the movie that was snubbed last night, Get Out, where black people are lured by Brian Williams' daughter to a remote suburban location where white people steal their bodies to live in them. Seth Meyers.
Get Out was a great film to see in a theater, and also a great way to tell if your date was a racist. If you walked out after that movie and your date said, "It was so sad when they hit that deer, they're a racist," you went to a movie with a racist.
There you go. So they just want to call somebody racist. Now, maybe if you snub the movie Get Out, then you're a racist. Maybe your entire organization is racist. Maybe, you know, as a representative of the Democratic Party, the party of Jefferson Davis and the Confederacy, party of Nathan Bedford Forrest and the Ku Klux Klan, the party of Jim Crow, of Orville Faubus, of Sheriff Bull Connor, of Robert Byrd. Yeah, just saying. They should have to live with their own history, shouldn't they? The Chris Plant Show continues after the news here on Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Val Dior. President Trump today will promote plans to boost economic development in rural communities.
During an afternoon visit to Nashville, the president will address the annual convention of the American Farm Bureau Federation. The White House says the president will discuss the administration's plan for broadband internet expansion in rural areas and for making it easier for providers to place cell towers on federal lands. Later tonight, Mr. Trump will attend college football's championship game in Atlanta.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston reporting. Kickoff for that game tonight, Alabama and Georgia, is at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. A small fire broke out on the roof of Trump Tower earlier this morning. Smoke was seen billowing off the top of the Manhattan skyscraper. It carried for several blocks. Firefighters were called at about 7:20 this morning. FDNY says the blaze appears to have broken out in the building's heating and cooling system. Congress returns to Washington with a lot of things on their agenda. Maybe one of the most important items will be getting a long-term budget agreement to prevent a government shutdown. Senator Tom Cotton says the Democrats in Congress would be responsible should there be a partial government shutdown.
I don't expect to have one. I certainly don't want to have one. But if the Democrats want to shut down the government because they can't get amnesty for illegal immigrants, then they're going to have to defend those actions to the American people.
Tom Cotton on ABC's This Week. The South Korean Coast Guard says there's a risk of explosion now as thick smoke billows from a burning oil tanker in the East China Sea. Bad weather also worsening visibility. The Iranian tanker and a freighter collided late Saturday. Personnel from 3 countries working to find the tanker's 32 missing crew members and contain oil spewing from the blazing wreck. Gas is up 3 cents in the last 2 weeks, according to fuel analyst Trilby Lundberg. That's 16 cents more than a year ago. That increase is due to higher crude oil costs. For more details on these stories and much more, townhall.com.
NCN News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. Icy roads are causing big travel problems across a big chunk of the United States.
I'm Jim Krasula. Freezing rain is affecting travel from Michigan south to Alabama and Georgia, and north and east to the Carolinas and Pennsylvania and New Jersey. There's been a 35-vehicle accident on I-75 in North Georgia, south of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Many schools are closed because of the icy roads.
Western North Carolina is now bracing for freezing rain or drizzle, even as parts parts of eastern North Carolina are still trying to recover from last week's snowstorm. The National Weather Service issued a winter weather advisory today for more than 36 counties in western and central North Carolina. The Trump administration announced plans to open up Atlantic, Pacific, Gulf, and Arctic waters to offshore drilling. If the Department of Interior moves forward, it will be the biggest oil and gas lease sale ever. Tom Kise is with the Carteret County Chamber of Commerce and says the state has a lot to lose in the deal.
It's a devil's bargain. Once you've started, that will never end. It is a huge concern of ours that instead of bringing jobs to eastern North Carolina, we could very easily lose just a huge amount of jobs.
A fire is under control at Trump Tower in New York. FDNY Manhattan Borough Commander Roger W. Sikowicz says,
did not have no smoke condition, no fire inside the building. We're on that lower roof level. Our units got up there quickly. You're actually using water. It's 19 degrees out, so it caused a lot of steam and more smoke. And we were able to extinguish the fire without any problems within the building.
Authorities say a Burlington man has been charged in a fatal Target shooting that was originally reported as an accident. The News and Record of Greensboro reports that an Alamance County Sheriff's Office says that 41-year-old Stephen Adrian Farrow was arrested and charged with obstruction of justice and voluntary manslaughter. You're listening to NCN News.
A Democrat in the governor's mansion, an unconventional Republican in the White House, new state, House, and Senate election maps, all important factors for politics and public policy in North Carolina. What does it all mean? Carolina Journal has the answers, available each month as a free newspaper, every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your #1 source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
Honey, have you gone on to ncjobsnow.com to look for a new job today?
Thanks, hon, but I don't want to go to a site for government-only jobs.
ncjobsnow.com is not a governmental job site. It's a site for exclusive North Carolina-only jobs. They have great job postings.
You're right. I just logged on, and they have great local jobs. I'm posting my resume now.
NC Jobs Now is not a government-only job site. It's a site with fantastic jobs in North Carolina. Go to ncjobsnow.com today. A great job is waiting.
Hi, this is Steve Leader Adams. How would you like to treat your office to a free lunch? Well, log on to WEEB990.com and register your office for the Jersey Mike's Sack of Subs. We'll pick a lucky winner each Friday morning, and lunch is on us in Jersey Mike's that day. That's WEEB990.com.
So what makes Jersey Mike's special? It starts with the bread, baked fresh throughout each day. Next, high-quality meats and cheeses, sliced individually for your sandwich. Jersey Mike's. Taste it, and you'll see it really is a sub above. This week, try the number 13, the original Italian, provolone, ham, prosciutto, capicola, salami, and pepperoni.
We'll start the day mostly sunny to partly cloudy across the area, then turn partly to mostly cloudy through the afternoon. A small chance of a sprinkler light shower late in the day, mainly from around the Triangle area north and west. Highs will reach about 40 to 48. Tonight, some patchy light rain possible, mostly for the northern half of the state. A slight chance of some sleet or light freezing rain there. All that ending after midnight with lows in the low to mid-30s. Then we'll see a mix of clouds and increasing sun Tuesday with highs up to 50 to 56. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
This hour of the Chris Plant Show is brought to you by Vintage and Modern European Service off Highway 211 in Aberdeen. Time is money. Get it right the first time. Call 944-1023.
Your utility bills are going down instead of going up. You know who you have to thank, don't you? Well, not Nancy Pelosi, I'll tell you that damn much.
Under my plan of a cap and trade system, electricity rates would necessarily skyrocket.
Ah, yes, Barack Obama's pledge, his promise as President of the United States, that under his plan, your electricity costs would necessarily skyrocket. And now with that awful, terrible Donald Trump in the White House, what's happening? In addition to the individual tax cut benefiting the middle class and working class voters everywhere. That's right, your utility bills might be going down as well, thanks to the Republican tax cut on businesses, going from 35% to 21%. keeping in mind that in Canada and Germany, it's about 15%. We're still 6 percentage points higher. But I heard over the weekend a little snippet that the news media doesn't want to talk about, and I went and I looked at it, and it turns out there is more to it. In Baltimore, Maryland, Exelon is provides gas and electric. Exelon's Baltimore Gas and Electric will pass around $82 million in annual tax savings directly onto its customers. What? How can that be? Exelon's Commonwealth Edison in Chicago. Do you know that William Ayers, the terrorist, his father was the president of Commonwealth Edison? Then the ungrateful little bastard grew up to be a commie revolutionary bomb-throwing / tenured college professor / friend of Barack Obama's, palling around with him, just a guy in the neighborhood. And I launched my political career in his living room, but pay no attention to that. Boom! Commonwealth Edison in Chicago seeking approval to pass along about $200 million in tax savings to its customers. Now, these utilities are so heavily regulated that they actually have to request permission from the state to pass along $200 million in savings to their customers that they want to give back to the customers, but the state, the corrupt state of Illinois in this case, must first approve. Eversource's customers in eastern Massachusetts, Gesundheit, will see a reduction in rates of around $35.4 million instead of an approved increase of $12.2 million. You got that? See, the state had just approved an increase in rates in Massachusetts, so the company could take in very heavily regulated utilities, so they could take $12.2 million more from their customers. Instead, you can lop off that $12.2 million and you can add another $35.4 million to that customers are getting back. Why? Because of the Republican tax cut. That's why. And what was it that Barack Obama had to say again? Under his plan, you see, he had a different idea altogether. His plan was for your grandmother to have to decide whether she was going to buy more cat food to live on or whether she was going to pay to keep the electricity on under Barack Obama's plan.
Under my plan of a cap and trade system, electricity rates would necessarily skyrocket.
That's right. That's his plan. Now, who does that hurt the most? You think Jeff Bezos cares if his electric rate goes up on a month-to-month basis? I don't think so. No, but little grandmas and struggling couples with little kids and people with part-time jobs that they were left with by Barack Obama, those people care very much about their utility bills. It's a big deal every month. And here we are in the middle of, it's the coldest winter ever. And Al Gore, you see Al Gore the other day? He said, well, this is exactly what I said we should expect from global warming. This is the cold and the warm and the hot and the cold and the ice and the polar bears. And it said, and the cold is just what I said would happen. No, actually, it's not, Nobel boy. Mr. Corpulent over there. I said it would get cold under my plan. Under my plan, it gets very, very cold. It's very cold and shivery. Ooh, burr, shivery outside. And then it gets hot. And I'm frightened of both. In Montana, the Public Service Commission has given utilities until March 31st to calculate the tax savings and just how it should be shared with customers. Is the state intervening to force them because they've gotten into the habit. Kentucky Public Service Commission ordered utilities to begin tracking tax savings. Indiana utility regulator, the regulatory commission there, ordered a review of the impact of the tax cut and how customers can benefit. In Louisiana, the governor there, John Bell Edwards, it's a man with three names, asked the State Public Service Commission to review utility rates and adjust them to reflect the tax cuts. So now, just a little thing about this. This is exactly what the Democrats screamed would not happen. Just a couple of weeks ago, the Democrats were screaming that none of this is going to happen, that the middle class isn't getting a tax cut, that it's only going to the rich, that companies won't pass the savings along to customers, that the greedy capitalists, they're the Democrat Party's anti-capitalist now, anti-free market. It's a terrible and tragic thing, but there they are. And here it is, this story, who's this by? The Associated Press, this is Bloomberg. It begins, it's been less than a month since Congress approved a sweeping tax overhaul, and states are already champing at the bit to get a piece of the action. Regulators from Montana to Kentucky have ordered utilities to act now to ensure ratepayers share in the windfall from the tax bill signed into law by President Trump that slashed corporate tax rates to 21% from 35%. Now, Bloomberg, they're excited that the state is going to force them to do it. But in Baltimore and elsewhere, in Baltimore, in Chicago, in Massachusetts, the companies are without the state forcing them to do anything. You know, liberals don't care what you do as long as it's mandatory. And if they feel better about it if they make it mandatory. If they force the utility companies to cut rates, then they feel better about themselves. But the companies are doing it on their own all over the place. This benefits, in particular, people on the lower end of the income scale in places like Baltimore and Chicago, where it's very cold, and utility bills are going to go up because it's really cold in the winter months. But, you know, here I come to save the day, you know, that Mighty Mouse is on his way. The tax cut is money in your pocket. Now, it's money in your pocket from the tax cut and how it affects you directly. But then indirectly, here's another way that it's putting money back in your pocket, that it's saving money in households across America, right? And I can assure you, CNN is not reporting that story today. They're not. That's not what they do. That's not who they are. Got it? Yes, you do. And of course, this is true all over the place, too, because now companies, from the local restaurant at the end of the street to the tire store, in order to stay competitive, they're looking at their new bottom line, and when they pay a much lower corporate tax rate, they can afford to sell their product, whatever it may be, for less and maintain their profit margins, and that's money in your pocket again. And if you think that's not happening, you're wrong. Then you don't understand the market. You don't understand free market capitalism. That's exactly what happens. Because first one person does it to give him a competitive advantage, and then in order to remain competitive, the other owners have to do the same thing. It's called the free market. It works like a charm. Just ask the people of Venezuela. You think they have any flamingos left in Venezuela, or have they already eaten all of them? And what else were they eating? Armadillos? Anteaters. Anteaters. That's what they're eating. They're eating the anteaters and the flamingos. And there's more mayhem. You see the government in Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, he ordered price fixing at grocery stores because people are starving to death. The average Venezuelan lost 19 pounds last year, and it's not by choice. 19 pounds. Actually, that was 2016. We'll have to get the update for 2017. And things are going splendidly. They ran out of toilet paper, you know, as a country, which can be a problem. Everybody walking around kind of funny, you know. Hey, what's going on? No, I'm still looking for toilet paper. There is a magazine called The New Yorker. Perhaps you've heard of it. They have just leaked their own new cover. The new cover of The New Yorker magazine is Martin Luther King Jr. taking a knee. Martin Luther King Jr. taking a knee on the cover of The New Yorker. See, Martin Luther King Jr. was he was the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. He was a pastor. He took both knees from time to time because he would pray, because he believed in God, and he was pro-life, and he was pro-Republican, and all of that good stuff. And flanking Martin Luther King on the new cover of the latest edition of The New Yorker Who? Wearing their uniforms? Yes. Colin Kaepernick and Michael Bennett. There it is. They're Martin Luther King. See, they're Martin Luther King. It's like because of Bull Connor and the police dogs outside the football stadiums preventing the millionaires from getting in their Rolls-Royce Corniche convertibles. I think that's probably the problem we've got here. There it is. It's Martin Luther King. See, Martin Luther King, again, didn't take one knee. And, and what are you guys, what you're not getting enough time on the field? What's the civil rights issue of our time now? Oh, it's the police shootings? Is that what it is? Yeah, that's what it is. It's police brutality. Barack Obama started the whole police brutality thing. You know, if you trace it back to its origins, Colin Kaepernick taking a knee is probably Barack Obama's fault. Barack Obama is the one that started the war on police in this country. And it's led to at least a dozen police officers being shot to death, assassinated in ambush-style killings by enraged anti-police, usually racists, looking to kill white cops. Oh, we'll get to some of the race stuff. It was race last night at the big Golden Globes Awards. A lot of race going on there. Here's a headline from Newsweek that's not satire. Trump could destroy the entire human species, says Yale psychiatrist who warned Congress members. Kate Sheridan, a Democrat, typing on behalf of the Democrat Party in the pages of Newsweek magazine. Do they still publish that magazine, or is it just kind of a blog site now that anybody can go to? President Donald Trump's mental health might lead to the extinction of the human species. The Yale psychiatrist briefing lawmakers on the president's psychological state told Newsweek on Friday. If it were possible, Dr. Bandy Lee said, quote, we would be declaring a public health emergency that needs to be responded to as quickly as possible. As more time passes, we come closer to the greatest risk of danger. One that could even mean the extinction of the human species, she said. This is not hyperbole. This is reality. That's what she said. They're not unhinged or anything. Now, there is in the American Psychiatric Association, there is a rule that they put into place after the Democrats tried to smear Barry Goldwater, Senator Barry Goldwater, running for president. They tried to smear him as insane and mentally unstable. The Soviets did this too. This is a standard tactic of the left, has been for about a century now. And now the Democrat Party is the left. They're not John F. Kennedy's Democrat Party by a long shot. They're the hard left. They're crazy people. They're dangerous to the republic, to democracy, to freedom-loving people everywhere, to your possessions, to your children. Although they would like to harvest your children's organs, you know, if you're willing to sacrifice them. They are organ collectors from way back. And it's called the Goldwater Rule, and you've doubtless heard much about this over the course of the last few days. The Goldwater Rule has it that a psychiatrist cannot provide a public assessment of a public figure or an individual with whom the psychiatrist has not personally engaged in the psychiatric process in order to provide an evaluation. Because providing an evaluation by watching a press conference is unprofessional, and it's, you know, that's not approved by her own association. This woman should be fired from Yale University. She's obviously completely unhinged. She's teetering on the, I haven't met her, but I'm going to assess her as insane, as I think a threat to the species. Not the human species, but there's some species somewhere. Maybe polar bears. I think she could be a threat to polar bears. But this is what they do. President Trump has responded to, not to her specifically, but to some of this stuff. And the media went mad.
You're listening to The Chris Plante Show.
Here's some great news. If you missed the deadline to sign up for health insurance, or more importantly, if you signed up for a plan you're just not happy with, you still have a choice. It's called Medishare. Medishare is a Christian healthcare sharing program that's been around for 25 years, and they have hundreds of thousands of members all across the country. And over the years, Medishare members have shared more than $1 billion of each other's medical bills. Best of all, you could save a lot of money with Medishare. The typical saving for a family is about $500 a month. $500 a month. Think of what you could do with an extra $500 a month. Your saving could be more or less, but think about what you could do with all that extra money. Think you're stuck with a high-cost health plan that doesn't have a lot to offer? Well, think again. You can join Medishare anytime. So call them today and check it out. Here's the number to find out more. Call 855-40-BIBLE. That's 855-40-BIBLE. Call 855-40-BIBLE.
If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown staining, bad odors, and lead with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to goodclearwater.com. That's goodclearwater.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458. 800-481-1458 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458. 800-481-1458 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
Attention all authors. Page Publishing is looking for authors. Have you written a book and want to get it published? Page Publishing will get your book into bookstores and for sale online at Amazon, Apple iTunes, and other outlets. They handle all aspects of the publishing process for you. Printing, cover art, publicity, copyright, and editing. Call 800-501-3689 now for your free author submission kit. That's 800-501-3689 for your free author submission kit. Again, 800-501-3689.
When it comes to insurance, you should always think First. First Casualty Insurance Group, that is. At First, we represent over 3 dozen outstanding companies and can provide you with the coverage you need at a price that makes sense. Have us do a top-to-bottom review for you. It won't cost you a cent. Stop by or we'll come to you. There's no obligation. Always, the coverage you need at a price that makes sense. And all you have to do is give us a call, 910-692-8303. We've been in the peace of mind business for over 30 years. First Casualty Insurance Group, Southern Pines, 910-692-8303.
Does the idea of getting out into US 1 traffic make you cringe? The increasing traffic and impersonal service of chain drugstores is a reminder of why we like small town life. Hello, I'm Pat McLean, and I would like to welcome you to McLean Drug. We are located at 735 South Bennett Street beside Gold's Gym. It's all here. Friendly, helpful service, convenient access, drive-through window, and discount prices. So stop by or give us a call at 246-9355.
McLean Drug on Bennett Street in Southern Pines for the personal prescription touch. On the line with us, a great friend, Bill Smith with Bill Smith Performance Pre-Owned right there at the corner of Morganton Road and Broad Street in Southern Pines. And Bill, financing is always part of the car purchase process also. Tell us about yours.
Absolutely. That's why we have such a great combination right here. Bill Smith Performance Pre-Owned on the corner of Broad Street and Morganton Road in Southern Pines. Not only do we have the best quality vehicles at the most affordable prices, all Carfax certified, we're going to shop and we're going to get you the best interest rates that you're going to get anywhere. So we have the whole package. Low interest rates, great cars at a great value. You have to come see us today. That's Bill Smith's Performance Pre-Owned at the corner of Broad and Morganton Road in Southern Pines. You have to come see us.
Spend your afternoons with the Sean Hannity Show. Weekdays 3 to 6 here on Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. And heard around the world at talk973.com.